Hey, how are you guys? My countdown didn't go right. I was like supposed to have it like right on time, and I didn't have it. I didn't have it on time, so you actually saw me getting ready before I was supposed to be ready. So here I am, 7 o'clock on the dot. 7 o'clock on the dot. I don't know where that came from. How are you guys? It is Wednesday evening. So I'm doing this a little later tonight because I think it's easier to do it that way. I felt like yesterday when I did it, I felt like I did it a little bit too early. You know, people get off work, they want to eat, they want to kind of get themselves relaxed and get themselves settled down. So that is the reason why I decided to do a little later. Yeah, here we are. And welcome, everybody. Hey. Hello, boys and girls. So tonight I don't have a docket because I was doing other stuff today and I don't have like a particular order. But what I didn't put in the title is there is some new audio going around. So that is something I saw on TikTok. And then, as I mentioned last night, we are going to go over some audios from Incredibly Average's channel. The reason why I refer to his channel is because he's the one that pretty much has most of the audios. I think that's where people are pulling him from. There's a lot of multiple channels that are using his audio because basically most of his audio that he has on his channel are actually from 2 years ago when the divorce was occurring. I am fairly new to the case, but I just have been kind of researching and gathering everything I know from listening to videos, going online, kind of doing my own research as well. But I don't have the sequence, so I haven't been watching the trial, like, or watching actually from the divorce. Like, there's some people that have been following this all the way back from when the divorce started, I guess, and I have not. So I'm just trying to recap the best way that I know how, to kind of get us prepared for court so that when court resumes on Monday, that we kind of just have a little bit of a refresher. And I've kind of revisited the things that I thought were important to talk about. So let's recap to date. So on Monday, I had a multiple person stream with my brother and my son, just asking the male perspective of where they felt like they were at this point. So that was kind of nice just to hear, a male's perspective, my perspective, and kind of, where we were as individuals and where we stood at the moment. I think there's so much information out there, and there's been so much presented since Johnny Depp's case has rested that I forgot to add my little ticker. Let me add my little ticker because it's so cute. It's so cute. So let me add my ticker. But yeah, there's just been so much that to recap on, and just kind of ending with her testimony. And I do want to say, and that's something I was getting ready. I thought you'd be very proud of me that I was just about 100% ready until I didn't have this one channel that I just wanted to show you, because there's some very exciting news coming from this channel. There are a lot of people on Twitter waiting for this particular channel to do their video. And there we go. So let me just pull this channel up because I think they have a reminder in case you want to see it. But there are some behavioral analysts, I think they are, like they do interrogations and stuff. But the channel's called the Behavioral Panel, and I'll show it to you in just a second. But they are actually doing their review of Amber Heard's testimony, which is super exciting. It's set to release tomorrow on the 12th at noon, I think. We're gonna see in a second, what time it's actually scheduled. So if you want to set it to your, if you want to be ready for it, because I know a lot of us are waiting for this. I mean, a lot of us. There it is. There it is. There it is. There it is. Okay, so let me bring this up. I'm not going to show you just yet, but I just want to have it ready. So there's no audio to it or anything because they actually have it set as a reminder. So I just want to kind of let you guys know that this is going to be available. These are a set of 4 people that do this channel, and they review interrogations and things like that. Maybe this isn't the right one, because it looks like I've watched it. So I don't think this is the right one. It was kind of like, I think, a piece of, they were analyzing, I believe, Johnny Depp's testimony, but I know this one's set because I saw it on Twitter. So I just want to make sure that I have the channel up so that you guys can see it, because I think it's really important in case you want to catch up with it. But yeah, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to cover some audios tonight. I did find a lot of, I thought it was interesting. I didn't realize how many court documents are available online. That's crazy. There's a ton of documents available to see on Google. Like if you just Google, how did I do that? I think it was, I did Johnny Depp and Amber Heard court documents, and then went to images, and there are so many court documents if you're just curious to see what they look like. I mean, the TRO's on there. A lot of the divorce papers are on there. Deposition papers are on there. It's crazy. But the real Laura B is someone that's on Twitter. I'll leave anyone that I talk about to credit, of course, their content that I didn't create, or anyone that's on Twitter or on YouTube. I will definitely make sure that it is in the description box, because it is not my content whatsoever. I'm just kind of catching up like y'all that haven't seen this. So I just kind of wanted to start with that to let you guys know that we're going to be doing audios and stuff like that. So the first thing that I wanted to share with you guys is some new audio that's been going around on Twitter. And I want to definitely show you that because I thought it was interesting. It was a piece of audio that I didn't see myself. So I definitely wanted to share that with you guys. So I will be kind of screen sharing with you guys as well. But like I said, I had a group chat on Monday night, and then yesterday, if you didn't catch that one, I covered I wanted to kind of just go over the two psychologists and just kind of take a peek a little bit at their testimonies, their websites, talk about how I felt about the two and who I felt like kind of really had more of an impact on me. I don't know where you feel like where your stance is at this point, but I just feel like I was leaning towards Dr. Curry because I tried to be fair. I've tried to be level-headed from the time that this started. And I just really feel like Dr. Curry is more on point than Dr. Hughes. I also felt like the tone and the condescending presence of Dr. Hughes she didn't impress me. I think a lot of people feel that way. And then on top of that, when she had to turn over her documents, I talked about that a little bit yesterday, how she just kind of slammed those on the deck, on the little panel thing there to give it to Johnny Depp's team. So I don't know if a lot of you guys caught that, but that didn't impress me. I wasn't feeling her at all. So but I want to go ahead and share with you guys this piece of audio that's come out on Twitter, because I think that's the most important thing to show you to start with, is to show you the audio that has just been kind of surfacing on Twitter. And this is, I just retweeted it. So I just wanted to kind of share that with you because I heard it and I was like, what? So let me go ahead and add this page with me here. And that way we can see it together. So anyone that joins the chat, hello, how are you? I hope that you are doing well this evening. And like I said, I'm new to live streaming. So for me, this is kind of like I'm trying to prepare myself and make sure that I'm on task and like that I have a direction when I do my live streams. But I find this case fascinating, and I just thought that I had so many thoughts when I was watching the trial, and I was watching so many like legal channels and things like that I've mentioned the last few days, that I just found myself wanting to say something. So I was like, okay, I think I'm going to live stream this, and I think I'm going to go commentary on my channel because I feel like I just have so much to say. So there was this audio here that surfaced on not on TikTok, sorry, on Twitter, that I heard this morning, and I wanted to share that with you. So let me go ahead and share it with you, and we'll start it from the beginning so that we can hear what she's saying. So, all right, here we go. They're saying that she had, actually before, I'm sorry. I apologize. Let me share with you the context of this audio. I apologize. I should be a better host, right? Okay, so someone had said on Twitter that this was kind of a plan that she had to set Johnny up, I believe. So this is what the new audio that surfaced, I guess, um, that people have been kind of posting and retweeting on Twitter. And so let me give you some context before I expand the screen one more time from this person's where this retweet. So like basically she's saying, listen as Amber Heard tells her plan to frame Johnny Depp. So this is the piece of audio that's been, like I said, surfacing on Twitter, and that's the context of the audio. So my apologies because I should have said that first. So let me go ahead and replay it. It's probably best to listen to this stream with your earphones if you have any, because I'm going to be playing a lot of audio tonight, and I'm just kind of trying to refresh our memories so that if they play any clips or pieces of audio in court when we resume, I just kind of wanted everybody to kind of go through that a little bit with me. There's a lot of audio, unfortunately. There's hours and hours and hours of it. So we'll pick and choose. We will see the newest portion of Amber Heard's deposition where they question her on her DV arrest. And so that's something that I think was really interesting as well. That's fairly new. That was just released on Incredibly Average, I think a few days ago. So that was just released on his channel. So let's go ahead and listen to this, where she was basically trying to plan to set him up. So let's go ahead and listen. It is a plan. It is a plan. It is a plan. I think this is crazy. This is crazy. I know she's repeating it, but I think when she started it, it was like halfway through. So yeah, this got 90,000 views, and it looks like she was planning this all along. I mean, somehow, she was, when she made her decision to go ahead and do whatever it is that she was going to do to him. Man, this poor man. I mean, I'm not, like I said, I have tried to stay level, like fair in this entire scenario. But there's just so much information coming out that it's kind of hard for you not to be fair. You know what I mean? Because it's almost like, and the interesting thing as well is that I have lip gloss in my hand. The interesting also thing as well right now is a lot of body language experts are doing videos on her, of course, and it's very interesting to hear their analysis or their assessment of her testimony. and the way that they talk about the body language, the eye movement, the facial expressions, all of that stuff, to figure out, or to go by that to see if she's telling the truth, or what kind of sincerity, I guess, she has in telling her story. And it's been interesting to hear them talk about that, to say the least, because I feel like some of them are making, I think, good points, but there are some question, as there's really no one has really, to me, said a definitive if she's telling the truth in some areas of the way she's telling her story. I think the thing is that it's definitely been kind of determined that she's exaggerated the story, but no one's saying that parts, or maybe snippets of what she's gone through, isn't reality. I don't know. I mean, I'm just as mind boggled as y'all. So that was the first audio that I saw this morning surface on Twitter that I thought was really interesting. So like I said, also I thought it was very interesting to share the subpoena that I found, that for Elon Musk, which I thought was very interesting. It was published by, or this is Yahoo News. This is Malaysia. I don't even know. That's weird. But let me share with you what I'm looking at right now, and that way you can see what I'm seeing. And I'm going to put this really big so you can see it. But this is the subpoena for Elon Musk. And I thought this was very interesting. It says right here, please. Okay, so it says, Mr. Frey, I don't know who that is, but it says, please find enclosed for filing in the above referenced matter, one original attorney issued subpoena for deposition and documents to third-party witness Elon Musk. Also enclosed are 3 copies of the subpoena. The subpoena will be served in California by private process server. We request one file. I'm looking this way because I have a bigger screen on my left side. If you're wondering why I'm not looking at the screen this way, I'm actually looking at a monitor on my left side, just so you know why I'm looking to the left, or to your right, my left. But anyway, it says, we request one file stamp copy for immediate return to the courier who will deliver it to our office. It also says, we also request, let me see if I can blow this up so you guys can see it, or if you stop by, let me see if I can blow it up a little bit bigger so you can see it. But yeah, anyways, so this says, it says, we also request one certified copy to be issued and served under the laws of the state of California. Upon preparation of the certified copy, please contact my assistant so that we may arrange for a courier to retrieve it. This letter certifies that California has reciprocal privileges regarding discovery with Virginia. And so basically, this is just all legal jargon, I guess, too. But this was the subpoena actually for Elon Musk, which I thought was really interesting. Another interesting document that I saw was the actual TRO that I thought was interesting to see. And this is by Daily Mail in the UK. And I'll show you in just a second what a lot of these documents look like when you Google them. It's amazing how much information is out there now, public information. But there is a legal document that I wanted to share with you guys. For some reason, this particular website has so many, it has pop-ups and banners, and oh my goodness, it's really hard to wade through this particular website to share with you anything that I was trying to have in place before I came to these, to this portion of it. This is basically just, oh, here it is. Look, see, here it is. So this is all the marriage information, and I think I talked about this yesterday as well, like all the demands that she was, telling him that she wanted, and I guess she was demanding these to be met, if that makes her, these demands. Anyway, she wanted these to be met. And so I read some of that paperwork last night, which I thought was very interesting. This is all just, oh God, here's the couch. I retreated to the couch. So this is kind of just all the incidents, it sounds like. I mean, each incident is itemized and it kind of goes into the detail. And then someone wrote an article, obviously, to tell you what each document says and why. So this one is the recent events supporting the basis of the instant DVRO. So that's the DVRO. I don't know if we're allowed to say it on YouTube, but it's a TRO pretty much. So this is kind of just, it's itemizing all the incidents, and it's a very long document. That's all I'm going to say about that, but it is available online for you to see. So if you are interested in reading that on your own, it is available. So there's really, honestly, if you're curious, there's really nothing out here that you can't retrieve, honestly. So and then I'm going to show you kind of like the way that I retrieve. That's the channel I'm going to show you in just a second. But this is how I retrieve some of these documents, and you can pretty much find, if you're looking for something specific, especially anything that they've mentioned in court, you can basically find, these are all the documents that are available for you to see in a PDF form. So, and a lot of them have been provided by Twitter. Some have been provided by TMZ. And you can see under the image what exact website or where the information is coming from. Like this middle document is actually coming from Fairfax County. And then some are coming from yahoo.com and, like I said, Twitter, TMZ. So, a lot of these are the documents that they talk about in court. And some of the images, they are redacted, so there is information. This is very interesting because this is the hospital. This is the hospital document from June 26th, 2019. Oh my God, here we go with the Daily Mail again. It's just, when you see the image, you can't just expand the image. You kind of have to click on the image, and most of it is referring back to the Daily Mail. And the Daily Mail website has so many banners that it's hard to see. But this is actually a lot of the contributions that they're talking about. A copy of the check. So we did hear, remember, we did that was closing Johnny's case when the spokesperson for the ACLU came and talked about the schedule and the payments and everything. So I was trying to see if I could. So this is basically, I wanted to see if there's anything above that. The problem is it's just so many. There's so much going on this website, as you can see, that it's kind of so busy that it's hard to narrow it down. But this is just stuff that I'm personally just kind of taking a peek at and going live, just sharing it. So if you see this, and you just happen to stumble on in the room, or you're an existing subscriber, do say hello. Let me know. I did do this later, so I know a lot of you on the East Coast, it's very late there. So I didn't expect to have anyone kind of pop in, but I'm hoping that if you do pop in, anyone, say hello. So good morning, good afternoon, good afternoon, good morning, and good evening. So this is a copy of the enclosed check of $100,000 that constituted a donation to the Children's Hospital in the name of Amber Heard. It's not telling us this, because the Children's Hospital, they didn't really talk. Did they even get to that? I don't remember if they got to that in court, but it says so it says $100,000 constituted a donation to Children's Hospital of Los Angeles in the name of Amber Heard. This donation is being made in accordance with Miss Heard's pledged gift of $3,500,000 to the Children's Hospital. This check represents the first of multiple installments to honor the full amount of Miss Heard's $3.5 million donation. And then it shows a copy of the check. And it's redacted. Oh, Depp. So this is the $100,000 that Johnny Depp donated to the Children's Hospital, which I thought was really interesting. Now, these are all documents that may be surfing and kind of going around on Twitter as well. But these are all kind of, I've seen tweets, but I mean, I haven't really spent 24 hours a day on Twitter. So for me, it's just kind of interesting to see these documents. And I know that I did say that I would play audio, and I will do that. But the first half hour, 45 minutes, I usually do this intro and start talking about recaps and showing some documents, some images and things like that. And then I go into the actual core of what I'm here for. So this actually here as well, I am following up with correspondence with the Children's Hospital. This is the letter from Amber Heard that I think they talked about. And she just says, I'm following up on the correspondence that Children's Hospital of Los Angeles Foundation received on August 26, 2016. And it says the CHLA was notified by Edward White and Company, that 3.5 million pledge gift had been made in your honor. In correspondence, see enclosure instates the first of multiple installments to honor the full amount of Miss Heard's $3.5 million pledge. And then this also, I am inquiring if you have any knowledge of the CHLA should accept further installments on your behalf. So these, obviously, I don't know if was this a check from Johnny Depp too, because I remember them talking in court how he wrote a check. I don't know if it was for both the Children's Hospital and the ACLU, but I should have better. But anyway, oh my God, they got really graphic and God showing his finger and all that stuff. So that was another document I thought I would share. But there's so many documents available online that it's just like crazy. And I just am not close enough I don't have like direct knowledge, researched knowledge of my own to kind of, tell you with documentation, like in what sequence things came. I mean, I'm just a viewer like you, and I'm just trying to come and, kind of just voice my own, experience of watching this and looking up some of these documents and just kind of taking a peek to refresh my memory. Because since Johnny Depp's case has rested at this point, I just heard word from another video that another channel that I watch, that said that Johnny Depp, I don't know if it's confirmed, but I know that there is talk of Johnny Depp having to take the stand again. So I find that very interesting as well. So we may be seeing Johnny Depp again. I don't know if that's confirmed, like I said. But there is buzz, I guess, talking about that he may take the stand again. So that's kind of interesting. Boy, man, next week is going to be one heck of a ride, girl. I'll tell you right now, I got my Kit Kats because we need a break up in here. Give me a break. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, boy, oh boy. So, like I said, a lot of these documents are kind of like the payment schedule. I mean, just, geez, this stuff, it just goes on and on. These are text messages. So everything, I guess, maybe that was entered into evidence, it sounds like that is actually what is available online. So if you have any questions, or you were watching court, or you were catching snippets of court, and you actually wanted to see some of these documents up close, and you're not on Twitter as much or whatever, all of these documents are available on Google. So, and like I said, with Google, it's really weird because it's very condensed in the way that you search things. So how I was able to pull up all these documents, I just put Johnny Depp, Amber Heard court documents, as I mentioned a little while ago, and that actually brought me up all these documents. The only thing is I would say that if you're going to look these up on your phone or on your computer or something, just make sure that you pay attention to the bottom. Underneath the headline, it'll show you what it is. And I'll show you here just so you can see what I'm talking about. So here, when you look up these documents, you're going to see the website. See, it tells you what it is, and then it's going to tell you where it's coming from. So if it's going to be Daily Mail, just beware. Especially if you're using your iPad or your phone or your computer, there's a lot of banners and I don't know, just all these crazy things that come up on the Daily Mail, like you saw. So it's kind of hard to get to actually where you need to go. It could be just my computer though, and my particular internet access and stuff that's kind of slow. So you may have more luck than me. But honestly, if you have any question, or if you didn't catch enough of the court where you couldn't see what they were showing or whatever, um, this is all available to see. So I did want to say that. So that's just something I wanted to bring up before we got into the audios, because the audios, y'all, they are very long. I'm not going to play the entire audio, but I am going to go through a bit of the audio so we can kind of catch up on, kind of what's happening. I know the reason why I played the Australian audio last night and listening to her kind of weep, and she was she was just kind of hysterical and all that stuff, is because it's very important for us to continue to just kind of keep that fresh in our mind, because when she got off the stand on the second day, when she was all emotional and kind of extreme, she didn't get to that yet. So that's why I felt like it's kind of important to keep revisiting that, or to listen to it, so you guys know, you know what I mean? Like, they haven't even gotten to that yet. So it's important to kind of have that fresh in your mind. So if they do play a snippet of it or a clip of it, then you'll remember that what part, because a lot of times in court, they're only playing like a certain amount of seconds, or a minute and 10 seconds or whatever, and it's just a snippet of that clip, so that they can kind of alter the context. So just make sure that if you haven't looked at Incredibly Average's channel, which we're going to visit that in a second, but just make sure that you are subscribed to that or something, if you need to go back and refer to anything, if you want to hear it for yourself. So this is all the documents. So like I said, you can go on to Google and see anything you want, including the TRO. There is also the entire documentation, I believe, is available on the Fairfax County government website. And I was going to show you guys where that is, because it's just, there's so many. Here it is. So this is, if you guys are curious to see what's this entire case document, like literal legal documents, this is the actual lawsuit, I guess, or whatever, this is the actual filing, I guess is what I want to say. So, and there is 21 pages to this. So if you are interested, good reads before you go to bed, and you are kind of lost, or maybe you just like skimming, or you just like watching snippets of whatever it is that you see on YouTube, but these are available for you to go through. I just have not literally went through these one by one and highlighted areas that I felt like were good to note or anything like that, but these are available. So they have exhibit numbers, and I do believe that everything that was entered into evidence, remember when they started talking about these crazy tabloid headlines and all this kind of crap, all that stuff is in here as well. So if you guys don't remember what they were talking about, the pictures, these are kind of like copies or whatever, but these are actual documents, including text messages and emails or whatever it is that they presented in court. This is available. So like I said, if you go onto Google and you just Google Johnny Depp Amber Heard court documents, then you will come across this. I'll leave this link directly in the description box if you guys want to just kind of take a peek at it. But everything that was submitted is in here, I do believe. So, and like I said, I could be wrong in terms of like how much paperwork consists of this entire thing, but this particular document is 21 pages long. But I do know that there probably is more documentation available on the Fairfax website in case you guys are interested. So, and like I said, there's tons of stuff available, like there's just so much. Look at this. It's all public. Some of it is going to be related to the divorce that's now already over, but a lot of these things that they're bringing up in court, sometimes, when we're watching the snippets of court, or even if you're wanting to watch a trial, like everybody's actually going back and watching this trial, they are bringing up, like when they're handing papers to each other and they're showing things on the monitors and stuff. These are some of these documents that are included in this ensemble here are what they're showing. So at least that these are available to see. So, in case you're just curious, and just want to research a little bit on the case, because some people just have, a very inquisitive mind and want to see things for themselves and all that kind of stuff. So I just thought I would share with you guys that there's just an abundance of stuff available. It's insane. Like how much is it's insane. It's really insane. So there's that. So what I want to play first, I think, so I played you the snippet of Twitter just a second ago. So I'm going to close out those. I'm going to close those out. I am going to bring this up a little bit side by side here with me, so you can see me a little bit better. So before I start that, though, also, I know, girl, I'm all over the place. Okay, just come into my bubble, come into my world, and go, what the hell is she talking about? She's over here. She's over here. Yeah, I know. I should have more structure. I will get better, I promise. But this, before we play that audio that I want to start with, other than the Twitter clip that I showed you, this is the channel I was talking about. This is the behavioral panel. And these guys are the world's leading behavioral experts weigh in. So they did do Will Smith. If you guys want to check that out, I haven't seen it myself. I was very interested in that. But see how it says Amber Heard body language? So this is the video that everybody's talking about on Twitter right now. Everybody, when they released this, everyone was like, oh my God, I can't wait. Oh my God. I mean, there's so much buzz going on Twitter about how everybody's been waiting for these guys to make this video. And, you know, now look at, there's 60 waiting already. I mean, it doesn't sound like a lot, but by tomorrow, their views are going to be up there on this one, because they all have a different specialty, and it's just amazing. If you did not see part 2, I would encourage you to see part 2 before you see part 3, because they kind of break down Depp's testimony. So it's kind of nice to do that before you watch hers, because then you can actually kind of hear like the way that they evaluate and assess Depp versus the way they're going to evaluate her, and really talk about her body language and the way she's kind of expressing herself and all that stuff. So I did want to go ahead and share this, because this is huge. Everybody's waiting for this. So that's that channel. So I wanted to go ahead and share that with you. And then now I'm going to play, where's that? Did I get rid of that one video I was looking for? Let me see. I need to grab this real quick. So I'm going to put you on me real quick. So what I'm going to do right now, instead of boring you with this part of it, I'm going to put myself on it, and tell you what I'm going to do right now as I kind of search for it. So I was basically going to just play stuff from incredibly, where's my mouse? I'm like, where is everything? All right, so hi. There was a video that was released from Colonel Kurtz. I talked about her yesterday. She's amazing. She really is amazing. I'm mentioning these people as I do my live stream, because when I first discovered that I wanted to go ahead and just kind of say something about this case, or like talk about it, or kind of just voice my own opinion and my own, the way that I felt about what I was seeing, is there was a lot of people, I guess, that really dove deep into their divorce, and I mean, have been following this case for years. And I'm like, whoa. And this particular person that I'm going to share in a second just made kind of a condensed audio video, which I thought was good, because she made what's it called when they put all these like kind of clips of audio together, which makes it really easy for us, some of us that are just looking for simplicity, rather than trying to break it down ourselves, because this particular video is just a snippet of all the time she said she hit him, I believe. So I'm going to just go straight to her channel really quick on the back end and try to get this ready for us to listen to, because I haven't heard this either. I mean, I've heard the audio. I've heard all 11 hours of the audio, honestly, I have. But I was glad that she did this, because I feel like she's probably going to be really successful with this video, because it does make it a lot easier for you to, when you break it down, like to hear just these particular key points that they're going to be looking for probably on Monday. So I'm happy about that. I also know that there are a lot of people out in the YouTubes, in the YouTubes, that are re-listening to the Johnny Depp's testimony and parts of the testimony this week. So if there's any court that you missed, there are a lot of people like going over and kind of doing reactions and things like that. So if you do feel like you want to try to sit through that, I know some people are listening to it on 2 times speed just because it is really hard to get through, and those court hours, they are so long. But I just wanted to, I saw this video. She just posted this, and I wanted to kind of bring it, I wanted to kind of let's see. Sorry, I didn't mean to take a breath there, but I just wanted to. I had this up. I honestly did, and then I guess I must have hit delete on accident. So this might be what she. Oh no. Well, she did the many faces of Amber Heard. Oh, here it is. Okay. So this is a video that she apparently did last year. Like I said, there's been plenty of people that have been following this for, a long time. And I don't have that experience with it. So I'm just kind of learning. I'm kind of sharing my experience of learning about it with you, because I figured, if somebody kind of stumbled across my live stream and wanted to kind of come in or leave me a comment later or something, and or even just watch it. I noticed a lot of people kind of like to watch videos and don't comment. So I encourage you guys to at least like the stream and let me know that you're liking it, and comment. I would love that. And tap the like button and subscribe, of course. And don't forget the bell when you do that. But I don't know. I just think a lot of this is fascinating to hear, because when you see these, some people there's videos out there that are kind of all condensed, like I said, with certain certain clips all put together like a collage. And I just feel like it's fantastic, because then you can actually make sense of it all. All right, so I found the video and I want to go ahead and play it. And I just want to make sure. Okay. Okay, so I've got this ready. So let me back it up just a little bit. Let me bring it. I'm going to go screen with this one, and I'm going to put myself back in the corner of the bottom of the screen. So we're going to go ahead and listen to just all the times that she has hit him. So I think that's kind of interesting. So remember, this stream is dedicated to audio only. So I will be visiting with you guys, but we're going to be playing a lot of audio, just so you know. All right, so let's go ahead and play this particular clip. Let me expand the screen for you. You can see it. And let's go ahead and listen. All right, here we go.
I'm not going to be in this fucking You fucking hit me last night. You can't run away, everybody.
But she's walking away from him half the time.
It's not right. It's not strong. I don't want fucking fight. You run away every single time. Want to make it easy on me. You don't fight for me. You don't fight when there's a problem. You don't. I'm not going to fucking hops. That's different. That's different. I could fucking say, does not mean that you come and knock on the door. Just because they're evasive does not mean that you come and knock on the door. I'm not saying that. You're saying that. You're putting words in my mouth and then making my separate. I'm giving you a situation.
She exhausted him.
What are you talking about? I didn't fucking even have a fucking thing to lie about. What are you fucking talking about? Did you just fucking punch me in the fucking jaw? Did you fucking did you investigative study? You were fucking full of shit. What lies? When conversations that I have with Travis, big investigative studies and stuff. I'm not sitting here fighting you about the fight that we had last night. Got physically violent with me. I texted Travis. I said, "Come up here." I didn't want anything to happen. I'm not going to sit here and fight about fucking Toronto anymore. Guess what? I let
She's screaming. My goodness.
I'm not fucking talking about Toronto. I'm not fucking talking to nobody. Fuck that. I'm sorry that I didn't punch you across the face in a proper spot, but I'm not punching you. You're not punched. Don't tell me what it feels like to be punched. You know, a lot of people no, when you fucking have a closed fist. Alright, like this. But I did not punch you. I did not fucking deck you. I fucking shit. And my actual hand was, but you're fine. And you're hurt, but that's the difference between me and you.
This has kind of been played, so this is weird. He's not even like really, he never really raises his voice at her. There have been those couple times like with the video the cupboards, but a lot of times in a lot of this audio, in all the 11 hours of this audio, he hardly ever raises his voice to her. Unless she's just like relentless, you know? Oh.
Here, Rio, you were losing your marbles. I'm the one who came to you and said this is calm. You were blaming me. Tell me how to tell you. It's like something you need to let me be able to do that. Sometimes you're gonna make me that. I can't live where it's like
God, that's a lot. Physical, man, that's a lot. 3 in a month. That's a lot. That is a lot. I wish there was video to it because it would add so much more context, you know, like where they're sitting in the room or where the, you know, the environment, the aesthetic of what's happening where they're sitting and stuff.
That makes me not lack of better word, safe in the relationship.
She's always talking about fighting, always talking about arguing this entire time. So Colonel Kurtz, this is her channel. She's absolutely amazing. So make sure you check out her channel if you want to see more of this. I know she did a lot of research on this, and she's made a lot of videos. I know she intends on covering the Marilyn Manson case as well. So if this kind of trial, you know, kind of stuff, and celebrity court cases or whatever, Emily D. Baker is also really good for that also. So here is where we're going to pull a lot of the audio. I did talk about this channel yesterday. The reason why I'm going to this channel is a lot of people are referring to this channel because the entire content of this channel is all of their audio. So like I said, this is 11 hours of audio. And it's very hard. There's like 35 minutes, 28 minutes, 28 minutes, 44 minutes, 37 minutes. There is 1 hour, 27 minutes, 36 minutes, 23 minutes. Where's the one? There is one out there. So this I think to me, this looks like it's broken up, but there is some audios out there that are the full 5 hours. Like, so it sounds like I really like this channel because he kind of explains the context. And I know a lot of people, like I said, are pulling from this channel to get accurate like information. So as you can see, I just kind of want to share this with you guys because I think it's kind of really important. But I'm going to go ahead and blow this up just a tiny bit, like in terms of the percentage, so you can see it a little bit closer. See, that way you can see it a little bit closer. But when you look at this channel, you can tell that a lot of this content that was made was 2 years ago, and then you have the new deposition footage that was just released last week's, you know. And so a lot of people are watching this never before seen footage, and that's the reason why I wanted to make sure and do a live stream that was all dedicated to the audio. So I knew I was going to get to it, you know, within the first hour, because I always like to talk, you know, I like to share my points, key points of what I want to kind of address before we get to that point, because the audios are tedious. It's like being in court, you know what I mean? Like when you listen to the audios, and I mean, if a person really wanted to kind of break it down and, you know, maybe condense some of the audio, you know, it would be obviously a lot easier for you as the viewer, but that is very tedious. I'm going to tell you, that's a very big job to edit down and, you know, and also it's not my content. I don't even know if it's okay for us to do that. But I did want to go ahead and share this never before seen footage. I meant to put that in my title, so I'll probably alter the title after I do this live stream, but this is brand new footage. Like I said, it was just released a week ago. And it is surfing around Twitter. So if you guys have seen it on Instagram or Twitter or wherever you're watching videos, I don't know if this is on TikTok, but I'm sure it probably is. But this is actually where they're questioning her about the DV. I need to be very careful the way I address this. So we're going to watch this one. Then we're also going to watch this one as well. This evidence debunks Amber Heard's Australian injuries. So this is kind of, it's only 50 seconds, so it's not even a whole minute. But I did want to go ahead and play these two. So since this one's only a minute and 11 seconds, we'll start with this one, we'll move to the 5-minute one, and then we'll move to the 50-second one, because each piece of footage is different. It's not the same, so he's not repeating that. And then after that, then we'll go through and we'll kind of sift through some of this audio and see, you know, what I want to kind of share. As I gain some kind of a chat audience and things like that, then I'll be able to kind of get a little bit of feedback as to what, you know, someone wants to hear or whatever. Because when I'm on my own, I kind of just have to, you know, look at the ensemble or the catalog and just figure out what I want to listen to. But we're going to start with this one. So let's go ahead and start this one. I am going to back it up just a little bit because it's like I started it. So let me do this full screen and let me back it up just a little bit. All right, so we're going to start this one, and this one's only a minute. So let me make that big. And are you going to work for me? For some reason, every single time, it's like it's just a high traffic time, I feel like, or something. I can't win with my internet. I always kind of have a little bit of a lag. So it's like, not right now. Don't do that to me. Nobody's going to stay if they see a spinning circle. But I have no control over the technical side of things. So I wonder if it's going to play for me. Let me see. Because I think I had a bit of trouble yesterday too. I think it all depends on when you're listening to something and what time it is. So I'm doing my best. I may have to switch to Edge, but I'm hoping this will work. I'm going to get Edge up in just for a second, to see if I can. Let's see if we can grab this from Edge instead, and that way we don't have. Sometimes Microsoft Edge will work a lot faster for me. So let me do that. I don't know why it's doing that. I'm not really sure. I don't know why it's not. It's just I don't know. So let me take this off, because otherwise it's not very. Let me put this on myself a second, and I'll go ahead and I won't bore you with that, but let me go ahead and grab this. But Colonel Kurtz is also doing like a lot of this, you know, research. The Real Laura B is also talking on Twitter about some of the things that are coming in terms of the case, and that's the reason why I wanted to say something about it, because I just heard, like I said, between today and yesterday, most of the stuff that I share on my live stream is basically just information that I see from Twitter. So I didn't realize that Johnny Depp was going to end up going back on the stand. I think that's very interesting. I did not know that that was going to happen. So it's very interesting that that's taking place. Yeah, I don't know, that video just doesn't want to work for me. So I have to move over to Edge. And it's very odd that all of a sudden I'm getting a little bit of a lag. So let me just go back to this. Let me pull this up. I think this one, Microsoft Edge never fails me. So my apologies, you guys. Like I said, I have no control over the lag or the way the internet is cooperating or not cooperating, because I have pretty much the fastest speed that's available. So I'm not quite sure why. It might just be a high traffic time even on for my area, possibly. So I just want to say, you know, I apologize for that. But now I got it back, so I'm going to go ahead and put it up again, and we'll go ahead and cover this one video right here. And I think I'm good now. I just want to make sure that it's going to play, and I think we're good. I think we're good. So give me just, yeah. Wait. Here we go. All right. So this is the deposition that I said I was going to give you. So let me go ahead and put it back now. Oh, I guess this is it. He did talk.
Mineral spirit and spouse characteristics of reactive violence.
If you are running away from your spouse and trying to hurt you, yes. Isn't it true, Ms. Hurd, that in front of two different employees at the island, you threw the paint thinner and hit him in the head on December 15th?
352 irrelevant, vague, argumentative, harassing,
In front of these employees.
nasty.
That's true. I just explained it.
Well, explain it again, because
No,
I was-
I'm
no,
not
no,
asking,
no.
no, I'm not asking for anything other than a yes or no. Did you or did you not throw a can at Johnny Depp on December 15th, 2015?
ask it.
You have to wait for me to adjourn.
Okay, so there's that one. So that was the 1 minute video. So now we're going to watch the deposition where they question her on the DV thing. So let me go ahead. Edge never lets me down, thank goodness. But I've had pretty good luck actually doing these live streams.
Is it true that you've been previously arrested for committing domestic violence against your spouse?
Irrelevant, harassing, has nothing to do with the proceeding.
I love this. This video is just insane.
Go ahead and explain how you want to.
This lawyer cracks me
There was
up.
no domestic violence in that relationship. The state of Washington, where I was arrested, immediately dropped the charges because they knew the exact same thing that I just told you, that no domestic violence ever occurred. And my ex has stated such. In fact,
She's so smug.
there were verbal arguments, misinterpreted, misrepresented, and completely overreacted upon by two individuals, the power position. And as soon as they found out that we were partners, which we were not going to be arrested for before, as soon as they found out we were partners, the male cop, not this other woman who's later been brought into the press, this male cop put me in handcuffs, and that's it was no physical violence, no physical abuse, and zero domestic violence whatsoever between us. It was a trump up charge, and it was dropped immediately for being such. Isn't it a fact, Ms. Hurd, that in fact on September 24th, 2009, you were arrested for domestic violence committed against Katia Van Ray?
That's the answer. Are we going to talk about it?
Did I miss something? Is it a fact, Ms. Hurd, that on September 14th, you were in fact taken to jail? It wasn't dropped immediately. Is it a fact, Ms. Hurd, that you spent the night in jail from September 14th to September 15th, 2009, as a result of your arrest for domestic violence?
Same objection. It's
Is that
irrelevant.
true?
352, she's already answered what happened.
Is that true?
It's argumentative, it's harassing. You just want to, get your harassment.
Let the record reflect, Mr. Carter's directing her not to answer. Did you
I
say
answered
no?
you.
I never said don't answer. I never said that. That's not my fault. Because she keeps cutting me off every time I say something.
She keeps cutting me off. He just sounds so whiny. Oh my God.
Be heard. Everyone's talking over me. You've got a whole wall of lawyers over there who are talking over me. Can I say something?
Ms. Hurd,
Me.
isn't it a fact that Tasha Van Ray on September 14th, 2009, claimed to the police that she was hit for her arm? No, I don't know anything about this.
This is going to come up
Answer.
because she's already opened the door.
Give up on it.
This is going to come up
I
in
don't know
court.
anything about the claim that you just made about what Tasha said or did not say. I can't possibly know that. I know nothing about.
I don't know about this piece, but I know this is going to come up.
Tasha Van Ray in her arm. No. Isn't it a fact on September 14th, you broke the necklace off of Tasha Van Ray's neck?
352, irrelevant to the proceedings, argument and harassment.
Isn't it a fact that Tasha Van
It's almost over.
reported to the police that she was hit her arm?
352, irrelevant, vague, argumentative and harassment.
Isn't it a fact, Ms. Kurtz, that you know very well that your spouse, that your domestic
Her attitude.
partner, Tasha Van Ray,
Her dude, is
requested
just.
that you be arrested for domestic violence?
Calls, please let me get my objection.
Okay.
She's always.
Right people,
She was Ms. Kurtz, like,
that relationship,
that's correct.
Did you say I'm correct that you saw no previous interparty violence?
That's not what I said.
Believe that you saw party violence, you didn't say that's right.
I don't believe I said that.
She lied. Everybody saw it. Okay, so let me put this back to myself and let me stop this here. Let me stop this here. So this is what I find interesting, and the reason why I play these, you know I kind of talk in between, and oh my God. Okay, no. Okay, we already saw that. But the reason why I try to stay a little bit quiet while I play an audio or while I play a video is because I've watched other channels that kind of talk through things, and I know some people get irritated when you talk through an audio or a video. Even though your commentary, you want to still kind of be courteous so that the person can hear what's happening. And like I said, these are all videos that you can see on your own. But here's what I find very interesting. I find that, and I know this was a long time ago, but it's very interesting, her demeanor and her attitude. She was younger also, but I love the way that on the stand, right, last week, she tried to make us think that she was taking her mind back to that time. She was, it upset her and it took her into a place that was very triggering and this and that and the other. But yet in these videos, her attitude is so much different. It's just very, I don't see her emotional. I don't see her frail. I don't see her, you know what I mean? Like, do you feel that way? Like, I don't see that. I see just this smug, kind of the same kind of attitude that the psychologist had up on the stand, So it's very interesting to see that back footage from back in 2016 to today, where she's just like, trying to be this broken person or whatever, talking about all this stuff. So, and then what I find very interesting is that, talking about her testimony, I just find it very interesting that in the beginning, when she talks about it, she's romanticizing the beginning, which, it makes sense, the love bombing of it all. But then, she just makes him out to be like someone that she's so afraid of, and he's trying to hurt her and this and that and the other. But yet, she stayed, and in every audio that we hear, she's so aggressive, and she's so she just pokes the bear. And I find that very, very interesting. So that's the newest footage. I think what I really wanted to see and what I really wanted to share is the deposition from one of her friends, because now that she we saw her psychologist, and then we saw part of her testimony. She will go back up on the stand on Monday. But what I wanted to kind of visit in these audios, and this even may be a video, because this is, I believe this is her friend's deposition, I believe. But I just kind of wanted to play a portion of her friends so we can get kind of a ground, like a foundation of like what we're going to hear about her friends. So we may even see this in court. I'm not sure, but there is the Amber Heard and Friends constant contradictions. So I want to play this next. This is a video also. I'm sorry, this is not an audio, but we will continue to see audio. But I just kind of want to bring this up. I want to open the door to this because I know a lot of people are, probably going to start talking about this because obviously her friends are going to be, I think it's depositions, I believe, that we're listening to. I'm not sure. But I even want to see this for myself because I'm not very familiar with her friends. I know, like I said, I will leave Colonel Kurtz channel down below. Go check her out, subscribe and hit the bell at her channel. But she did a video on her and her friends. And I just find it's fascinating. And I'll leave it in the description box if you want to watch it. And I think it's going to really matter to watch that video and to hear a little bit more about her and her friends, since her side of the case is now being presented. Because I think we've heard so much about Johnny Depp and all of the people that work for him and the relationship themselves. We have heard a little bit about her sister, Whitney, but we really haven't. And we've heard Rocky and all these names, right? And we even saw these people in the video footage they presented in court for when they had the police visit. But we really don't know much about her friends. And so that's the reason why I kind of wanted to start streaming and just kind of share that as well. Because I think it's important to kind of get some kind of context with the friends. Because for me, that's where I'm rough. Like I said, I'm new to this entire case. So for me, if you feel the same way, make sure you tap the like button, or something. If you stumble across the video and you just hear snippets of it, or you've been here for the whole time. But this is going to be interesting. So let's listen to the constant contradictions. This video is provided to you, to us, as viewers, from Incredibly Average. And this is going to be, I believe, her friend. I don't know who this is, but what we're going to see. So let me go ahead and pull this up real quick. And they're going to question her about the 911 call, apparently. So let me go ahead and I'm not going to do his opening. I'm going to actually, so what we're going to start with is we're going to, actually, maybe let's watch his video because I haven't really seen it. So let's just go ahead and react to his video, and then we'll do that. So let me go ahead and put myself back up here again like this, and let's go ahead and just listen to him introduce the context of the video, so at least we're not lost. So this is compliments of his channel. I'll leave it in the description below. Okay. This is important because this is what's going to be happening next week, in my opinion.
Hi, I need to report an assault right now happening at 849 Broadway, Eastern Building in Penthouse 3.
They may play this in court. I wonder if they will.
Okay, are you there right now? No, I'm downstairs. Okay, and sorry, you did 840 with this one cell phone. I don't know, it's Eastern Building, downtown LA. Was it physically assaulted? Yeah. Who? you witness it? No, I happen to know that it's happening, and I just keep moving on it. Okay, so maybe not, but I'm just what's going on. How do you know what's going on? She told me. Oh, okay, so this is the friend of yours? Yeah. Okay, so what did you say that this guy was assaulted her? Physically assaulted her, yeah. Okay, but this is a boyfriend or anything like that? Yeah, it could be, yeah. Okay, even if it wasn't, it's no. Yeah. Hold on. Are you between 8 and 9? Yeah, yes, exactly. Okay, and the third one?
That was a long call, huh?
Penthouse 3. Penthouse 3? Okay. You want to be on this, right? Yes.
I never got, is she physically there? They said something about New York, so I was kind of lost with that. But they keep you on the phone, right? They keep you on the phone. How long is this video? Look at her, she's like, I gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta go. I don't have time for this.
However, in this case, I feel them to be back up. But I'm the first one. I'm going to ask hopefully answer simple questions. Questions like who made this call? Why did they? Why is only now being talked about? We'll ponder different interpretations of the word immediately, and we'll see some new definitions which we can outline of there are a number of lies.
This is the reason why I wanted to react to this video, because I have a feeling these people are coming this coming week. I don't know. I'm just guessing. I've never seen. I mean, I've heard these names, but I don't know who these people are. Whoa. Whoa. Maybe this is all. Okay, I did not know. I thought this was going to be more audio. So I'm going to leave that to, like, if you want to watch that you know, on your own time, then I didn't realize that that was not an audio. So I want to kind of focus on the audio that I said I was going to play from his channel, because he does have a lot of audio there. Because I'm just really interested in this coming week, and kind of want to make sure, like, especially when it comes to her dad, like there's a thumbnail in here of her dad is on one of these thumbnails, and I'm interested in that. I think her dad is still living, I believe. So see her dad here. So I'm not really sure. What does this say? Parents sided with Johnny. New text evidence. So I don't know if this is complete audio. Let me see. Oh, uncensored audio. That's an hour. We do not have no hour. This is Amber, abuser Amber tells Johnny nobody will believe him. Oh yeah. Well, that's what that was kind of what we saw. What's this one? Amber caught lying under oath. New audio video. I want like just the actual audio though. I thought that a lot of this was audio. Let's see. Let's listen to this really. Let's listen to parts of this, I guess. I want to see. I don't know what's in this on. Oh my god. I know this is a whole hour. I'm like, whoa, kind of scary.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Just a couple of minutes of time for the intro. This video is probably not what you expected in terms of what I promised my it would be, but I believe it needed to be made, and it also needs to be seen and heard by as many people as I can possibly reach with my.
This is a reason why I think it's good to use these videos, because he did intend for people to share, I believe, these videos. So that's why I'm kind of approaching it in a reaction video.
This is the single biggest and most damaging piece of evidence yet. I hope this doesn't come across as hyperbole, but I go as far as to say I believe this group beyond a shadow of a doubt, even though their marriage wasn't what anyone would consider perfect, that Amber Heard absolutely was not a victim of domestic violence against Johnny Depp that she claims, but was actually his abuser. You'll hear her admit to it multiple times throughout this video in her unmistakable words with her voice. What you're about to hear is a recording of a conversation, an argument between Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. It's my understanding, based on the audio, that recording their conversations in order to help work on things was somewhat of a common practice. This is a long piece of audio. As such, it will undoubtedly.
We'll try to get through it. Oh, you know what? If we're gonna listen to it, we don't have an hour. I'm not gonna listen to the whole thing.
When they speak over one another or during what I believe to be very important moments. But for the most part, I'll be letting the recording speak for itself. And as you listen and watch, keep in mind this is not about what you believe they had a positive or unhealthy marriage. Honestly, I think the candid or rather frank nature of the conversation helps to clear up any gray areas. This is about Amber Heard lied when she claimed she lived in constant fear of Johnny Depp and suffered emotional, verbal, and physical abuse their entire relationship.
That is really important, though. It is really important because it's what they're going to determine this week, right?
Listen and focus that she transforms from denial, anger, yelling, maniacal monster under victim of what I believe is a classic user gaslighting, trolling, and manipulating media. Unlike my other videos, I won't be adding audible beliefs or prep words. I want you to hear everything exactly the way it is, so this is your warning. Also, I feel the need for anyone that have triggers to hear content of this nature. I know a lot of people who watch my videos are used to themselves, and to say I'm terribly sorry if this is not a bad memory. I'll try to remember.
I wonder.
Quickly, however, I do encourage you to find time to listen to this from beginning to end.
Dude, you're killing me. You can't even hear it. He doesn't have text on there. He must not have the text on this one. Oh, we heard this with Kurtz. How does that perpetuate a fight if you try to like back away from the tension? How does that like perpetuate a fight? I think that's weird.
punched him, again referring to herself as an animal that was being poked, and that's why Depp was invalidate her action.
I have not done this. I have not. I have not started to fight the thing. I'm not going to sit here and fight about fucking Toronto anymore. Guess what? I'm not fucking about. I'm not fucking about Toronto. Ready? Guess what?
Jeez, girl.
And I every
Isn't this the audio that they talked about in court where he tried to go in the bathroom?
You remember the one who put it on the fridge? I'm sick and tired of it. It needs to fucking change. And you can go, I can't even command, I can't do it. Or you can fucking promise. I have a lot of them thinking, I have a lot of them respect. A little tiny shit sliver of fucking like, you are in this, whether it's good or bad. Whether
Girl,
it's good or bad, down and low and high.
I don't think anybody can handle you.
Here again, saying,
Whew. Crazy.
Also notice how much she doesn't want to talk about her abuse, saying this is not about a fight, but rather the broad subject of belief.
She's always.
And you may on, she uses terms needing safety. You'll realize that this progressive she's referring to not physical safety, but the safety of the relationship with Johnny are not going anywhere, and she wants to be confident and leave but rather stay in fight the bad times.
I don't know how else to say I wrote to you. I haven't because we have not been well. We have not been good. When I fucking move out, if I move out, then you out.
Oh God, when I move out, if I move out, that's like I remember, I don't remember. Wait a minute, I can't recall.
You hear what?
This girl right here. Keep in mind, you guys, I have it on 1.25 times speed or one whatever, because I can't. I don't think I'm going to listen to the whole thing.
No, relationship, something me, don't stand up for it. You always run from it.
What the hell does she want him to do, though? Having a relationship or having a marriage is not fighting every single day. That's like a combat zone.
But now is the fucking time. I need to know if you're going to be there. I'm not promising. I told you that at the beginning of the conversation. I need promises you're going to fucking be there. I need promises that it's working. Not when it's easy, where it's hard too. If this is something you apply for. That this is something that's sacred. That neither of us throw out at everybody. I can't be the only one that holds the promises. I was in Toronto, I fucked me over. I can't be the only one. You can't be the only one.
Girl.
If I split on you, all those times I thought about doing it, not me. And I say, and it's tougher. No, that's stronger. I'm stronger. It's easy.
I can't with you.
It's easy to take that out. Well, that's the easiest. That's the safest way out. I'm not saying we should get this one. I never want to do that. Never. But every time you don't like what I say, and you fucking run away, you never want that. You can't run away every fight.
Yes, he can. I'd run away from you too. Damn.
It's harder to say somebody.
Go away. Could you, okay, let's just wait. Can we just like, can we shut her up for a second? Could you imagine like being in a relationship like that and then it's a person that's following you from room to room to room and then like having to sleep in the same bed with them and then like if they even wanted to remotely get romantic with you, like how in the world could you even desire a person that just doesn't stop? Like they're just like the energy, like they're just like relentless. I mean, I mean, I'm not saying that it's okay that he did what he did, like that he had issues. Okay. The alcoholism and the substance stuff. We talked about that several times, but listen to that. I mean, if you lived with that, that's why to me, it's I mean, they were only married. Can you believe that all this shit that we're listening to, all these audios floating around the internet and the interwebs and the whole thing, and like everybody, there are some straight audios out there. I just chose to visit Incredibly Average's video channel, because I feel like he just kind of brings more context to the situation, because like I said, there's so many people out here that know the intimate details of this case. They've been following it since the UK, and I'm not that far invested in this. I've just been watching the trial, and that's what made me interested in it. But what I don't understand is, first of all, they were only married 15 months. They were only married 15 months. So since they were only married 15 months, and I don't know if anybody knows how long they were dating, because I don't think that's ever even been brought up. Like, I know that they met, right? Didn't they meet in 2011 or something? Because I know that year keeps coming up. But then they divorced in 2016. So that's 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16. So it's 6 years total, right? That they were together, I guess. Whether they were courting or dating, then they got married. Why they would do that, I have no idea. So I feel like this is, I mean, I don't believe her. I will say that. I don't care what anybody's, I mean, I will say this every single day this week, because I've kind of said it 2 days in a row, and here I am on the third day saying the same thing. But I think that she drove him to be at a height of that, like that, because I know he had issues. I know that. I understand he had substance issues and alcohol issues. But I feel like he just burrowed himself in that, because he felt like he couldn't get out of it. I mean, and I know that, each one of them at their free will could have left each other anytime you wanted. Y'all know she wasn't going to leave him. She was not going to leave him. He was her meal ticket. She was not going to leave him. And I think, obviously when he was done with her, or just tired of all the nonsense, and he said he was going to file, and she ran the next day while he went out of town and went on location or whatever, and filed. So, and if I heard that correctly, correct me if I'm wrong, but following the trial from the day one, if I remember correctly, he said he told her that he was done with the relationship and that he was going to file. But I think the way that he presented it to her, or the way I received that information as a viewer, is that he told her he was going to do that. But I don't think he put like a immediate, like action on it, because he was busy, he was working or whatever. So I don't think that he was in a hurry to run right down to the attorney's office or whatever. And I think she just wanted to beat him to the punch. And, and that's why that document says she had all these demands. But honestly, I don't think he would have been mean to her anyway. I don't think he would have. I mean, if this all would have went differently, I don't think he would have denied her anything, just based on like how he treated her, even as bad as, even all the shit that they went through together as a couple. And then also just kind of the way that he is as a person, or they say that he is, and the way that he just kind of moved all her family and friends and all that stuff into that entire building. Like, in my mind, as a person that's just like kind of trying to see this from afar and stay, fair, I don't think he would have denied her anything. And I think that's why, honestly, I mean, I don't know how you guys feel, but I think that's why he was so adamant on the stand about, like, it didn't have to go in this direction. He said on the stand, it didn't have to go this far. It didn't have to reach this height. So to me, that alludes to the fact that he was saying, I would have gave her what she wanted. You know what I mean? I was already putting up her entire freaking everybody that she knew and their mother. So to me, it seems like she would have ended up getting what she wanted anyway. So why she needed to feel the need to see, to me, that represents malice. Like, everything that she did was intentional. And I understand that this case is about defamation, and it's about the op-ed, and it's about did the article refer to him, I believe, and are these allegations that she's come out to allege, are they true? But I just feel like he truly had feelings for her, as warped as that is or whatever. But I just don't think that's why I just think this girl is evil. She has to be. Like, who does this to a person, not only from the time she met him all the way through this entire relationship. And not to say that he's innocent, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that he didn't have his part in it, but I'm just saying that all the riffraff, from the time that they were dating to the time that they were, all the way up till they got married, through the marriage, in the honeymoon, where you see that photo of his eye all messed up and swollen, and then just all the way through the entire thing up until the actual filing of the divorce. I think he's just old school. I think he's old school. See, here's the thing, okay, because I'm older, so I don't know who's watching this or who's watching this from Twitter. Hi, Twitter. Or anyone that stops by and looks at my profile or runs across this through the hashtag. But, I know that, in the good old days or in the old school days, if you stayed in a relationship and you put in your best, you fought the good fight, if that makes sense, and you tried to endure, and you tried to make it work, and you tried to stay loyal, and you had faith that it would work itself out, that was admirable, that was honorable, that was, that proved through your action that you believed in the relationship. But nowadays, if you stay, it's stockish, or it's, you can't let it go, or you're obsessed, or you know what I mean? So I think the generation gap between the two of them is, they come from two different worlds, two different upbringings, there's such a huge gap in between the two of them. There is no possible way they could have shared any kind of, there was no medium there just wasn't. Books and music won't do that, you know what I mean? Books and music are not going to tie you together like that, because there's really nothing else. But what they don't have anything in common but each other. That's all they have. Like, that's it. They don't have that. She can't possibly relate to his childhood or his teenage years, or or even his 20s, or anything that, and I think that's the reason why she probably looked at him from afar, and and realized that she married somebody older, and that they don't have a lot in common and all that kind of stuff. So it's just, that's why when you stand, when you hear all this stuff, because I did want to put some commentary in here. When you hear all this stuff, it's like, that's what gives her away. I mean, it was a dead giveaway, and that's probably why all his friends, and family, or the people that cared about him, could see right through her, because there was just, it's like, you see these people, because it doesn't matter whether it's an actor or an actress, because, or a male or female, because the older female is a cougar and the man is whatever, like a Casanova or whatever, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. So, but I mean, you have to think about it, like dating somebody that with that big of an age gap. What do you really have in common? You don't have anything in common. How can you? You know what I mean? Other than the older person is bringing to the younger person some kind of isolated attention that the young person isn't going to get, because the young person is surrounded by people their own age that are just, not really, they really haven't had their feet grounded on, they're not stable in their lives. They're too busy being 20, whatever, or at the time, because he met her when she was 20. And, and she probably really liked the fact that he paid like attention to her, you know what I mean? Like, that he gave her this immediate security, and, and made her feel like she was going to have some kind of longevity, some kind of security. Now, I mean, I'm not just talking about financial, because I know she wanted financial, but I mean, I think it was a little bit, I don't want to say naive, because I know he wasn't naive, but I think he just had these blinders on, that that this woman was, in his eyes, breathtaking and young and fresh, and made him feel younger, probably, because he's already a good looking man. I mean, he didn't need to get someone that was young. So it's just, to me, this is how my mind works, because I'm a very analytical person. So it's like, I'm just trying to find the attraction there, other than, romance. I mean, what else could they have in common, right? Like there's no way. 30-year difference. There's no way. So we knew this wasn't going to work. We knew it wasn't going to, like, they weren't going to stay together. So I just had to say that because I listened to them fighting and I listened to what she's fighting for. And I listened to him trying to reason and be logical with her. And she's too young. She doesn't have the experience in life to know how to be reasonable. No, she's spoiled. She wants what she wants. And because she's using her beauty, as leverage or as a weapon in a sense, honestly, I mean, I'm just going to say that blatantly. I'm a female, so I can say that. And I think that he wasn't buying that. Like he was, in my opinion, listening to these audios, listening to their stories, all this kind of crap that we're going through. I feel like that's why when she says, "Oh, Johnny saw me in a way no one else saw her." Well, she was 20 something years old. Do you think somebody 20 years old was going to see her? I mean, do you really think that? No, but he's a nice, sincere, kind person. He has his own issues. He has his own dependencies. But at the same time, like, what the hell could they possibly have in common? You know what I mean? She was going to seduce him. She was going to she was going to hook him. And then, she was going to leave him mesmerized and very, because narcissists do that anyways. They get you in a trance, or whatever, like where you're actually literally intoxicated and hypnotized by them. So that's probably what it was. And he had the means to give her anything she wanted. So why would she not want that? And it's so telling how she went from Johnny Depp to Elon Musk. Seriously. And damn well that James Franco didn't mean shit. James Franco was just someone that could relate to her age because she needed that. She was around somebody that was way mature than her. She wasn't kind of connecting with that kind of mentality because he's so much older than her, and there's a sense of seniority there anyway. She couldn't control him with her beauty and her look. She couldn't do that because that's really what she was trying to do. She was trying to do that so that she could get what she wanted. Wasn't working. And so she needed to pull in James Franco to be around someone her own damn age, other than her fucking friends that were around all the time. You know what I mean? But that wasn't going to do it. That wasn't going to do it. She needed to be. And then on top of that, another thing that mind boggles me from these audios and stuff and all these fights and everything that they had is that if she was with a same-sex partner, it's very interesting how she decided, they say that she's dates both genders. But what's very interesting about that is that she was married to a woman, then she gets involved with Johnny Depp, right? Then she goes directly, she doesn't go, well, I mean, we don't really know what she was doing on the side. We don't really know. We only know what's being brought out to the public. So she could have been, having female relationships within this whole entire time. Nobody knows, right? Nobody knows because the women aren't going to talk. But she marries Johnny Depp, and then she goes from Johnny Depp to James Franco to Elon Musk. And then now she's in a same-sex partner relationship again. So that's also very telling, in my opinion, because it's like she used Johnny Depp for his fame, and his money and his financial gain. And then she moved on to Elon Musk, who she seduced and whatever. She fucked around with James Franco, whatever. James Franco was just there and whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like that he never mattered anyway, but he was there. So why not? So that's why listening to these audios is very telling to me, because it's like, if you really rationalize it, well, I mean, I'm older anyway. So but at the same time, like I can see, because I feel like anyone that is over 40 that is listening to this and that's trying to kind of make sense of this story versus someone that's 20 or 25 or 30 or even 35 is going to see this story differently. I mean, there's the basic right and wrong, of just humanity and the way that they're treating each other and the way she's treating him and the way she's, literally just going in on him for no reason at all, because he's already a passive, kind person in general. It has nothing to do with him being a man. I mean, everyone he knows in his world and throughout these years has always said he's been a kind, gentle, not confrontational, and she preyed on that because she knew she could be overbearing that way. She knew that she could do, she could pull his strings like a puppet. She could puppeteer him that way. She already knew that. But I can guarantee you that, like, if you're over 40, let me know if you come across this video and you feel the same way, because that's why I feel like it's just, this story it speaks so many volumes of so many different types of, like, the way that you can analyze this situation. And that's really what we're doing. We're analyzing it. We have to, because now it's so out in detail by detail by detail in the public. There's no other way you can do it. You know what I mean? Maybe some people are making it simplistic, like either she did it or she didn't. But there are so many Inspector Dexters out there that everybody's putting this puzzle of the pieces together, and they're listening to the audios, and they're listening to the testimony, and they're listening to all this stuff. But what you really have to think about is the actual relationship itself. You know what I mean? Like, he's in his 50s, maybe entering some kind of a midlife doubt, or I mean, obviously he's successful, he's famous, all that kind of stuff, but there's still the actual human part of him that is aging, that is going through something when you reach a certain age. And he meets her, and she's 20 something years old. She's beautiful, she's she's young, she's vibrant, she makes him feel alive, or whatever the fuck, or whatever. And so that in itself, is that they're feeding each other something. He's got the money, she's got the looks, whatever, and so they're feeding this energy together. But at the same time, the reality of that is, where was it going to go? Whether he married her or not, we both know damn well she wasn't going to stay with him. And we both know damn well he probably wasn't going to be able to handle her anyway. You know what I mean? Like, he wasn't going to stick around. I mean, look at Bradley Cooper. Look at all these actors. Who's the guy that played in the Wolf movie? Caprio. I mean, he's a running joke of, like, that he only dates if they're under 25, forget it. So, I mean, they do this for a reason. He doesn't do that because he wants to have some kind of meaningful conversation. No, he does it to make himself young, and make himself feel young. He's not, I mean, do you really think these guys are sitting down at a table talking, like, about life and, philosophy? And I mean, no, that doesn't, come on, be honest. Even if they like to read or whatever, when she was sitting there romanticizing about how they both like blues and poetry. I mean, come on, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's the only reason why I got so gabby about that, because when you're looking at this, it's about defamation. This entire bullshit that we're all listening to, that we're all breaking down, that we're all, like, dissecting every single audio, everything they're saying, every court document, every this, Amber Heard's this, Johnny Depp is, you know what I mean? And I'm justice for Johnny all the way, 1000%. But at the same time, I'm just saying, like, that there's a, I feel like people are overlooking that this is, like, it's just, it's the old tale, you know what I mean? Of, young girl meets older man who's gonna, sugar daddy her or whatever, and she, but she's not serious about that. She never was. So for him to ignore the flags, and I honestly think he innocently thought that maybe, I feel like people have this idea that, like, when they meet somebody, if they don't have a lot in common, that maybe she would have come around, that maybe if he stayed with her long enough, that she would mature into, real feelings for him. Because I think he honestly, consciously knew when he met her, he wasn't going to reach her that way. I mean, come on. You know what I mean? And these are celebrities, so they live a very different life than we do. But when it comes down to this case and all these things that she's doing and saying, I mean, this is about defamation. It's about the op-ed. It's about what she wrote. It's about what she alleged. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, like, this is basically going to boil down to that we know she's guilty. But it doesn't matter, because that's not really what it's about. It's about the op-ed. It's about the defamation. It's about, did she, they have to prove malice, which they say is very difficult to do. But I believe that when she posted that op-ed, see, here's the thing. I was watching several attorneys that I really like. And they were saying that they were talking about defamation per se. Because I watch attorneys, so that the reason for me, like, I'm the kind of person that likes to watch, like, medical seminars. Like, that's the way my brain works. That entertains me. But a lot of people can't do that, just because it's boring and it's just dull. It's like being in school. But it's very interesting that this whole thing is just very interesting, because they were explaining defamation per se, which means that somehow the way that they described it, and I'm not an attorney, I'm not Legal Bites, I'm not all these people that I love and adore and watch, Colonel Kurtz and Good Logic and Hogue Law, all these people that I love on that Emily D. Baker. But they were talking about that there was something that was in relation to her posting the op-ed on Instagram, which somehow like connected, like malice, I believe. I mean, if I kind of comprehend what they're saying, because, for me, it's like I'm challenged by that kind of stuff, trying to comprehend what they're saying, but at the same time, I'm not an attorney, so I don't understand the way the law works. But I just think that everything she did intentional, but I feel like, and the taunting, and that's another thing I feel like as well, is I feel like when you listen to these audios, I feel like when you hear her, she's poking the bear. She's constantly provoking, seeing how far she can go, and she's pushing herself also. That's why in that one Australia audio, she's weeping and crying and going, man, what if I really cut his finger and he bleeds and he's like, he almost dies or so, like, that's why I think she got so freaked out, because she pushed it to a limit she couldn't take back. And that has nothing to do with like what really happened, what happened on both sides. But I truly, wholeheartedly, sincerely do not believe that he put his hands on her. I believe that she pushed him to a point where he was, raising his voice here and there, or whatever, because he just was, get off me. And I feel like the more the consistency of how aggressive she was and how much she climbed on him all the time, in terms of verbally and just following him around. And oh my God, it's almost like it's psychotic. Honestly, I mean, it's psychotic the way she was treating him. But if you kind of put yourself in that situation, I mean, my dad always taught me, like, he would say, my father passed away from Alzheimer's, but I feel like my dad was really wise in my eyes, but he would say, whenever you're asking someone a question, and you're waiting for them to answer you, ask them like, well, would you do this if you were me? Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, in any instance, so it's like always putting yourself in that position, because you don't really know what you would do if you were in that position. But either way, if you're not a confrontational person, if you're a passive person, if you're not a person that likes confrontation, it wouldn't matter who he was with. He's not that naturally that kind of a person. So even under the influence, I don't believe that he was aggressive with her. I believe that she pushed him to a point where he ended up, maybe yelling or shouting or, just like, get off me, or run into the fucking bathroom and, locking himself in and all that. At the same time, I just feel like, what would you do? Wouldn't you do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you had someone that was following you around the house and not like letting it just, I mean, when you hear the audio clip, and I'll try to find it, because normally when I do my streams now, I'm doing them at least 3 hours, and I know I've gotten on a tangent on this, but I feel like it's really important for those, this is what commentary is all about, right? This is what your own opinion is all about. And this to me is, I kind of just wanted to articulate the way that I'm trying to evaluate, assess this thing as an average person, listening to these people's story, listening to all the court people, listening to all the audios and the documents and all this bullshit that you have to put together. But at the same time, it's like, it's not rocket science. I mean, when someone is constantly badgering you, harassing you almost, I mean, if you take the way that the lawyers were talking to her and badgering her with questions at that table, right, and the lawyers whining, did you hear that? Whining, well, I don't even get to talk. Oh, come on, man. Anyway, but it's the same thing, you know what I mean? It's the same thing. And that's why it was so important to see her demeanor in that. That's why I think Brian, the guy that owns the channel of Incredibly Average that we're watching right now, I think that's why it was so imperative for him to put that piece on there. And maybe it was a public thing that now he could post it or whatever, but it's very important to watch her demeanor, because she doesn't care. She's young. She's, she doesn't give a shit. She's her and her snotty attitude and this and that, right? But she's not affected. She's not emotional. She's mad. She's angry. Things didn't go her way. And even with his demeanor, when you see him back then, he's still the same. I mean, he talks so fucking slow. How can you figure out what the hell he's saying? You know what I mean? Like, I love Johnny Depp, but I'm just saying, come on now, he's a little eccentric. But at the same time, that's what we're dealing with. So all these audios are it's just a loop. That's all these audios are, is a loop. And she's just poking and poking and poking and poking and poking. And it's like, I mean, as a human being, how much can you actually take? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that I believe that she pushed him to a point where he touched her. I don't believe that. I mean, I believe that inside he was probably battling with himself, that he did have feelings for her. She doesn't have the capability to feel anything, especially if she's a histrionic. She does not have the histrionics and borderlines don't have the ability to have empathy for anyone ever, even for her child. Her child will grow up and they will be narcissistic, because that's how they're a product of their parents. So it's like, even though she's going to express emotional and what she thinks is love, no, her child will mirror her. So that's, especially because and she's raising a female. So it's like she's, her child will end up being the way she is. But for him, I feel like all these obscure, like, I wrote reminders, and I mean, yeah, that was weird and psychedelic, and he was under the influence and all this kind of stuff. But at the same time, that was I feel like, listening to that story, seeing the pictures, yes, they are odd, but do I believe that he did more than she's saying he did? No. Do I believe that there were times when she was, being like, when she was so close and, right here? I mean, and another thing to say about that, and y'all, I know I paused it, and I know I got on a tangent, but I don't care. I mean, like I planned on being here for a while, and I am a talker. But if you guys remember the personal assistant that had her deposition, and that's why she was so aloof. The personal assistant, remember, she was like, "Are you kidding? She didn't pay me." I forget her name, but the English lady but that's why. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, because she knew the real her. She knew how she was, and she was just, like, I believe that's the thing I feel like that people don't understand about histrionics and borderline personality disorder, or whatever, and narcissism period, is that people are under the impression that they only treat their partners that way. That's not true. They treat everyone that way. And I feel like when people understand, and that's why they talk about her sister a lot, people are talking about her sister and how her sister had a fear of her. But if she's been the dominant one in the circle of family, when you learn about narcissistic abuse and you learn about narcissistic parents and narcissistic siblings, there is going to be one narcissistic child and one empathetic child. That's the way it works down the hierarchy. That's, or whatever, from whatever. But I'm just saying, so one will be a product of the person that's dominant and aggressive and, and all this, and the other one will be, timid and pleasing and catering and, fearful and all of that. And so if Whitney is really like that, I think they talked about, that Whitney was getting kind of, before the mom passed away. I was listening to the Umbrella guy before I started my stream, and he was talking about Whitney, and he was showing all this, this documentation that he was sharing and stuff, and information he knew. And I just kind of, from what I studied by myself, I'm not licensed, I'm not anything, but I researched narcissistic abuse for 6 years. So it's like, when I was listening to Whitney, and he was saying that she's always been abusive to Whitney, that Whitney's always been fearful of her, the wrath of her. But see, Whitney's stuck too. So Whitney is her sibling. She loves her, but she hates, you know what I'm saying? There's this constant back and forth, toggling, teetering, between feelings. You know what I'm saying? Because she doesn't like the way her sister treats her, but she loves her because it's her blood, it's her family. So it's like she's stuck. And it's very similar in the same kind of instance when someone's in a relationship like that. I played a clip from Richard Grant from yesterday's live stream, because I wanted people to hear what he was saying. Legal Bites. I love that channel. I love Alita. I love all the people that she puts on her channel. But the two people that she had on her channel, the psychologist and stuff, and the lady, I don't feel like there are very few, in my personal opinion, because this is my channel, it's my opinion, it's my commentary, the way that I'm, sharing how I'm feeling with you about this, and the way I'm feeling about relationships and how people treat each other. I feel like if you're gonna talk about something this deep with psychology, you really have to go to a resource that's actually can tell you and break it down the way a narcissistic abuse really works. It's not like you're just going to a therapist and you're saying, I'm in this, possible abusive relationship, and I don't know how to get out of it or whatever. It's not that simple. It's not that simple. And that's why when I played that clip from Richard Grannon yesterday in my stream, I wanted whoever would stop by or whoever saw it at that moment, that was going to be like kind of like a karmic thing if they saw that clip, because he explains in 3 minutes how narcissistic people treat you. And that's why you can't get with a person like this and then just leave. It doesn't work that way. It does not work that way, because a lot of people will tell you, oh, you're with this person that treats you like shit and blah, 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 blah. Why don't you just leave them? It's not that easy. It is not that easy, because it's such a mind terrorism thing that, because Johnny Depp is not made that way. He's caring. He's kind. He's, he was looking for the good. He was always looking for the good. And every time he believed the good was coming out in her, it was all a performance, because narcissists are very theatrical. You have your coverts that are they care about what people think on the outside, and they don't give a shit about what happens when you're behind walls by yourself. And then you have the overt narcissist that doesn't give a shit, and that defies everything out loud, is the one that's going to embarrass you in the restaurant, and you know what I mean, and all that, and make a fool out of themselves, and be a showman, and the whole thing. It's two polar opposites of people. That's why you have your sociopath and your psychopath. But I'm just saying, it's like this whole entire situation. If you guys have ever seen Deadly Women, if you've ever seen Snapped, if you've ever seen, any of these true crime, it's zoning in on the female, it's the same thing with Jodi Arias, the same thing. It's just, she was fucking psycho, man. She was psycho. And the way that she attacked that man that she hurt, it was pure hatred. So I do believe that, based on the audios that are out there, even though I paused it, I realize that, but I do believe by the first audio that I showed you from the beginning of this stream, that she was planning on hurting him. I can promise you. It's like they just made a movie out of that show, that documentary on Netflix called The Staircase. The lady that played in Sixth Sense is in it. I forget her name. She's an English actress, but it's the same thing. It's the same thing. I believe that if she would have stayed with him, she would have hurt him. She really would have. And I don't know if she would have hurt him on purpose, but if she had the power to throw a bottle and chop off part of his finger, what would the future look like for him? You know what I'm saying? Like, she would have ended up hurting him. I don't care. I don't care what anybody says. I believe that strongly. I'm not saying that she did it, because obviously they divorced and everything worked out. But I am saying that, she is abusive. She's abusive. That's why I said it doesn't matter who's in her life. It doesn't matter if she has a female partner or a male partner or her child. Same thing. She treats everyone the same way. She gaslights, she puts her mask on, she plays nice, then she's multiple people, all in one. So that's the only reason why I wanted to kind of touch base on that, because when it comes to this kind of stuff, I'm very, very analytical, and I'm not so much, I'm very detective like also, but at the same time, you have to be, I feel like you have to know the science of relationships, I feel like, or something, or at least learn how, when people are like doing something intentionally to literally manipulate and make you question your own reality, because that's what she was doing. He was in a cognitive dissonance type of, where he thought his reality was real, but it really wasn't. You know what I'm saying? And she created that that scenario or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like and I do believe that she also encouraged him to drink more, to, because she knew what she was doing, and she knew that she could get her way as long as he was three sheets to the wind. You know what I'm saying? Like, but at the same time, though, she wanted him to be cognizant enough to fight, which doesn't make any sense. That's why all these pictures they're bringing of him, passed out and everything, like, what does that even prove? That doesn't prove anything. You know what I mean? That he passed out somewhere. I mean, to me, that's like, in my opinion, that's like the most innocent thing you can do, is like I mean, that's the safest thing, honestly, you know what I'm saying? Like, that you can do, as long as he didn't, drink himself into alcohol poisoning, or, take it to the next level and end up like someone, that took to, Heath Ledger, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of celebrities that have overdone it. But I also wanted to bring up, before I play the rest of the audio, because I will play the rest of the audio, but at the same time, like, I still also wanted to say, if you think about Johnny Depp's past, if you think about, because I don't think anybody's brought this up, but I'm only one person, and I only have one attention at each video that I visit on YouTube. But if you guys remember as well, Johnny Depp owned the Viper Room, and he also went through that very traumatic experience of River Phoenix and that incident that happened in front of his club. So it's like, he's been through a lot of traumatic experiences in his life, and he's been very private, even battling his own, substance problems, and and all of that, and having a partner, because I'm sure, in their intimate, pleasant relationship, I'm sure, like any, relationship, or any spouses, I mean, her being with him, if he's always battled with spousal, with substance abuse, then, his previous partner probably went through something, but they cared about each other, and, whatever it is, obviously they were able to, get through it, and find a way to cohabitate, and, the whole thing. But that's just another thing, is that I think people are, Johnny Depp's 58 years old, or whatever, 57, you know what I'm saying? He's been around a very long time, and there's been a lot of things in his career that have happened. I haven't heard anybody talk about the Viper Room. I haven't heard anybody talk about, that he owned that Viper Room when River Phoenix, passed away in front of his club. And I'm sure he had to deal with a part of that, because he owned the club. So it's like, he's been through a lot of traumatic experiences in his life, and that didn't make him spiral. You know what I mean? He was with Winona Ryder for 4 years, and I'm sure it wasn't perfect, but she's come to his defense. All these women, like, this lady from, what's her name? From Dirty Dancing or whatever, like, coming around the mountain, saying, oh, he was possessive and this and that. Oh, come on. A man never gets like that unless you give him reason. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that I wasn't there. I can't, all I'm saying is, like, when you analyze a standard relationship that is going through any kind of difficulty, especially when it comes to infidelity or doubt, right? Or, lack of trust or whatever, that doesn't just come out of nowhere. That doesn't come out of nowhere. It just doesn't come out of nowhere, and that's why I, at first, before I even wanted to open my mouth to talk, to spit all this stuff out and express myself with this, I thought about Kate Moss, because I know Kate Moss is going to, they've said that's why they were saying about the fist pump, because she said something about Kate Moss had opened the door for them to bring up past relationships or whatever. And so that's why I'm bringing that up. But at the same time, like, when you talk about the girl from Dirty Dancing, or Ellen Barkin, or Birkin, or whatever the fuck, whoever she is, saying that he threw a bottle in this and that. Well, I don't believe that Johnny Depp just literally is just going to throw things. I don't believe that. I don't believe that, because he was so fearful from his childhood. He never retaliated in his, like, his sister said the same story. He said the same story. It's like, I mean, I don't know. People are doubting his sister too, and blah, 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 and all that. But I believe that what they said was sincere. I believe that they were honest. Everyone has things that they don't, everyone has from their childhood things that I feel like you can sum up without saying too much. You know what I mean? Just in terms of, because your childhood is it's your private experience, especially with your siblings. But I don't believe that he's just some jealous, whatever they're saying about him. And I don't believe with the Kate Moss situation as well, I believe that even if they had any kind of situation, because they say Kate Moss to this day still speaks highly of him, and I do believe someone said earlier tonight, I believe that she would be willing to come up as a witness. I think she offered, I believe, to be a witness or something in, I want to say, the UK trial, or even before this trial started or something, and they wouldn't let her or something like that. I don't know. I'm not as educated as all the other people that have the documentation to share with everyone. But I just think that he's got too many partners that are saying really good things. And you have to understand, like, if he only dated Ellen Barkin or Birkin or whatever the hell her name is for a couple of months or 6 months, but yet he was with Winona Ryder for years. He was with Kate Moss for years. He was with Vanessa Paradis for years, and you've got the Dirty Dancing lady that dated him for 2 months. 2 months. And I'm sure she's probably talking shit about the guy that was in Dirty, Patrick Swayze. I'm sure she has something to say about him too. But you know what I'm saying? Like, she's using that for clout. Like I said yesterday, I mean, all these people that are bringing up his name just want to be involved. You know what I mean? They just, because she's trying to sell her book. You know what I mean? So that's the only reason why I talk about it so seriously, because, you can't just look at someone in a relationship like that and say, hey, why didn't you leave? Because he's not built like her. She's not built like him. And he had very sincere feelings for her. So he wanted to believe that he could work it out. Now, I mean, is there a fine line of a borderline when you should go? Yes, there is. And that is something I believe that empaths don't know how to do. They don't know how to create a boundary for them to, because I was reading about narcissistic abuse a long time ago, and it was saying that narcissists don't have boundaries. They continue to push the bar. And so when they get with people that aren't like, because I think sometimes that's how you can spot a person that's like that, is that if you meet someone, especially, in a romantic sense, and then they kind of, you're feeling them out, and I think there's the natural thing of seeing something that someone does and you can go, oh, all right, I don't know about that, but I guess I can handle that, or I can put up with that. And then as they continue to push and test you, then you find yourself raising your bar. You know what I mean? Raising that boundary that you normally wouldn't do that with someone else. So it's like they just have it's a no holds bar with them. You know what I mean? And I honestly believe that she's like that. So that's why in the audios, to me, that's why it's just evident. It's not so much, hey, Amber Heard is a liar, Amber Heard is this, Amber Heard is that, she did this, she did that. But if you truly listen to the way her tactics and the way she's actually manipulating the situation to get what she wants, and that's the reason why I kind of like the behavioral panel the most, because they kind of really break it down. They each do something different. Excuse me. So to have like a group that's actually looking at that and kind of really breaking it down, I feel like that's it's just very interesting what they're seeing, because they do interrogations and stuff like that. But I know I got on a tangent for about 30 minutes or whatever. But I wanted to kind of say something so that when someone clicks on this or sees it on Twitter or just sees, 5 minutes of it or 10 minutes of it, when you're in a relationship like this, you can't just get up and go, yes, he's rich, he could have did whatever he wanted. But what I mean is that it says so much more as well, that he stayed and tried to endure because he cared about her, more than anything. He cared about her. I think he tried really hard to like her, because there's a difference in loving someone and liking someone. You know what I mean? And so I think he really liked everything about her when he met her. Obviously, he was smitten, and she really kind of more than seduced him. I feel like she kind of even hypnotized him. You know what I mean? A little bit, because there's this energy that goes on, right? That's like, it's euphoric. So I feel like he was in that, even at his age, knowing better, because I'm sure something in his mind, there's always that one moment in your experiences when you have a doubt, and there's always that one moment that you dismiss that one doubt you have. And that's why I used to have a relationship channel a long time ago. And one of the things I would talk about a lot is the movie Closer. And if you've never seen this movie, you should see it. It's called Closer, and it's with Julia Roberts and Jude Law and Natalie Portman and Clive Owen. It's about 4 people, and it's the rawest movie when it comes to relationships that you'll ever see. It's raw, like it's raw. It's realistic raw. You know what I mean? People hurting each other and accusing each other of different things and just doing all these weird, things that you wouldn't do in a relationship. And it kind of just shows you all aspects of what it's like to be in every area of a relationship. That's like being in love. Then someone, someone betraying you, just betraying you, and someone cheating on you. And these are marriages. These weren't, well, you had Jude Law and Natalie Portman dated, and then Julia Roberts and Clive Owen, they meet, but they get married. So then it becomes a marriage, right? And then she cheats on him, and it's a very ugly. It's just whoever wrote that movie was just really on task, because it's the reality of what really happens in relationships. And so that's why I get so, I can't, when I decided to make this channel a commentary channel, I knew I was going to start really kind of breaking things down in my own like perception of how I break this stuff up, because I tried to stay very neutral in this thing, because I think what happens is when you start talking about DV and you start talking about SA and you start talking about these very serious accusations that someone is accusing you of, it's more, you get, I feel like that's even part of the reason why they wanted to do that, is because you get very sucked in, you know what I mean? You get magnetically, you get your attention goes on only that, and you forget that it's not about that. I mean, it is, because the op-ed was about that, but the case itself is about the op-ed. It's about defamation. It's about, did he lose money? Has he, and he doesn't care about the money, we all know that, but I mean, that's what this is about. This is about, she accused him of something and wrote about it, and now they have to prove, 1, that the article was about him, 2, that he lost money, 3, that she did it, intentionally, and 4, whatever else. I mean, I can't think of 4 right now, but I'm just saying, so that's the reason why I feel like it's just, this is more than just these audios. This is more. So I'm really happy that he got out of this. I think, I honestly think at his age, it's going to scar him. I believe, I really do. I don't think he'll ever see, once you get stung by one of these kind of people, I think it changes you. I think it changes the sincere heart that you have. I think it changes your I don't know, you're over, like, the way that you see people and the way that you view being in love, in love itself. I believe it really kind of dismantles that entire concept of what you always knew was the healthy thing to know, until you get tainted by something like this. And then once you get tainted by a person like this, it changes you completely. It changes you completely, because he just will always be standoffish. He'll never trust anybody else again. He'll never approach relationships the same way. I mean, I think his established relationships, like, with the mom and his kids, with any woman he's known for a really long time, I think those people that have never hurt him the way she hurt him, I think he'll still trust them, like, if longtime partners, or even anyone that he dated for a long period of time, I know that those people in his life, celebrity or not, are seeing the change in him. Even now, it's been 6 years, but I promise you, he is different. He is different. And hopefully, he's healthier and he's not leaning on substance, and all that sort of madness. But I just hope that he's healthy and that he's this, because I do believe for him, I feel like it's very, I don't believe her. I just don't believe that it's affecting her the way that she's saying at all. But I believe that because he's very subdued and a very controlled personality and demeanor, I feel like he's probably bottling a lot of that stuff. So hopefully reliving this bullshit, or maybe he's just been reliving it so consistently throughout these years trying to get this shit taken care of that maybe it doesn't matter. But I feel like, I know that hopefully, he won't ever have to, to turn to taking himself to that place anymore. And I feel, I was going to say I worry I don't know him or anything. I think, humanizing him this way, I feel like has made a lot of people feel very he's very relatable, I feel like now, as a human being, as a person, not as this, mega triple, like mega A-list star. But I feel like he's kind of humanized, his, like, now we know, kind of brought his, like, it's kind of opened our eyes that celebrities are just the regular person too, without all this bullshit that they carry with them, you know? But at the same time, I just feel like I hope that he can stay, and find a partner if that's what he wants, because he's at an age now, right, where you can't abuse your body with that kind of substance stuff and expect it not to, hurt the only body you have. You know what I mean? Like his liver, because your liver is a very serious thing. You know what I mean? Your liver is like, once you have liver problems, it's not good. It's very worrisome when you have liver problems. So anyway, I know I went on a tangent. I'm so sorry, whoever's watching this or whoever came across it. But for me, I feel like it's, when I listen to this stuff, it's just very, I don't know. I feel like, when this stuff first came out, I originally found it from Christina. I don't want to say her last name wrong because I follow her on YouTube, on Twitter, and I really like her. Her name's Christina Pickles, I believe, or something, but I really like her. I just like her personality. I like her sense of humor. I like her channel, actually. But when I first found the audios just straight, not like this, the way this guy narrates his videos, I just found the audios itself. And when I was listening to these audios, I decided to make the time to listen to these audios throughout. And I don't know how anybody that comes across this video would felt when you listen to some of these audios. Like, I don't know if you're triggered automatically where you just feel like sensitive to it, like, oh my God, I can't, how does he put up with her? I don't know if you have that kind of feeling, or if you actually really intuitively feel for him, because he's constantly defending himself. He's constantly trying to rationalize the situation. He's constantly trying to be logical. He's trying to reason with her. And she has no ability to do that. So it's like, to hear that over and over, it's like, it can leave you, like, it can make you want to turn it off. And then, like, it can just affect you. It can affect, I mean, I feel like this trial is, like, because it's all over the place, I feel like it's affected people emotionally, and they probably just don't even know it. But yeah, I mean, that's when I'm listening to these audios, that's what I'm thinking about as a person. And I feel like, that is, I just know her kind, man. I know her kind. And I'm waiting for Richard Grannon to talk about her. I'm waiting so much for him to talk about her specifically, because I know he always talks about borderline in histrionics and everything, but I'm waiting for him to talk about her. And knowing him, he probably won't do it. I know he probably won't do it. And I've been watching Richard Grannon since 2015, but I really like the way he articulates, explaining, psychological and narcissistic abuse and narcissism and the whole thing, because he's very easy to understand. He's just very simple in the way that he explains it. So it's very easy to kind of take in and understand the madness, because it is literally madness when you're with a person like that. It is madness. Anyway, now that I've ranted, I'm going to finish playing. I'm not going to play the whole thing because I've got it on. I'm tempted to put it on 2x speed. But now that I've said all that, if anybody's watching this on any side of the world or globe, if you're watching this even on Twitter and caught your attention with my theory of things, my theory. Now, hopefully, when you hear the audios, if you decide to listen to them on your own, you're gonna maybe listen to it, a little bit differently, rather than just thinking she's, you know what I'm saying, like, because she just has a way. She has a way, and once you pick up on it, then you can hear it all the time, and you'll just know. You understand what she's doing all the time, all the time, all the time. And that's the thing, is that, like, I hope that the people that know, I'm sure the people that already know what I've learned and they taught me or whatever, already know what she's doing, because she does this to everybody, literally everyone. So it's like, but for people to hear her, they might just think that she only treats him that way, when she doesn't. She treats everyone that way. So anyway, I'm gonna stop talking. It's alive. I wanted to make it interesting, but I'm gonna go ahead and finish playing the audio. I don't even know where we left off, but it's okay. It's my channel. It's fine.
Me, be a bigger person every single time. I come to you and knock on the door and come to the house and say, hey, we're married. It's supposed to be sacred. Calm down, calm down. Yes, by default. If you're never the one to do it, one of the kids, and I'm the one to do it every time. I mean, I'm the bigger person. I have to tell you. Every time I start a relationship, you get to be not to be lazy. You get to be confident. What do you need me for? What do you need me for? One thing I am fighting for the relationship.
Then what do you need me for? Why am I here?
I am not ready.
She fights with herself. She answers herself.
I remember what I said at the beginning. I'm sorry you feel like you can't say. But I said this to you at the beginning of the conversation. You're my favorite person in the world. You are a shiny, beautiful, interesting, dynamic person I've ever met. It would be so easy to walk away from this bright thing that you do.
Untrustworthy.
You hear what I said? I said I can't trust. I can't trust. That's not mean you're untrustworthy. It means we created this situation. And I'm telling you, you do it create it too. And we created this situation in which because I'm not trusting bro. It's like it's happened every single time. And when you married, that's why I said, you're not going to be together at the very beginning.
Untrustworthy, by the way. Kevin Costner just came out last week and said, that's why you walked in my trailer naked, right? Now, could he have just been saying that? I don't know, but I believe it. Do you believe it? I believe it. I believe it. I just do. So they said Kevin Costner called her out about walking in his trailer naked. So untrustworthy. Bitch, stop.
I know you got married to security. So you're not married to something that we're doing, because it's something that's going we wanted to take that foundation. No. Yes.
See?
And you told me, maybe go back right now. Fine, okay, cool. Lie about that. I don't know. You told me you wanted a foundation. You told me you wanted to security. You wanted to be like foundation. You said I really like asking that. You're arguing with me when I say it now. Oh, yeah, I mean, like.
She's arguing with herself. She's arguing with herself. And then she says, I don't want to fight. This girl's too much. She's just too much. He's so sincere when he says it. I don't think he's lying.
See how much she actually does pick apart the things he says, or sometimes he doesn't say, kind of like a whole, you said love. He said love.
Well, first of all, does she know what love is? No, she does not.
She says she doesn't want to talk about the very thing she's trying to verbally keep him down about. This time you guilt and love on him. Or tell him again what he's doing or saying is wrong. And that's how it's done.
My whole point I'm not relationship is that you love me. Yes, marry me though. Because you want to take some space and do it really a foundation.
That's why she shit on his bed, right? Because she loves him. Girl, bitch, stop. Just stop. Sorry, I shouldn't be saying the B word. I'm sorry. It's a. I don't mean it literally. It's just.
else. She didn't. Human. Let her be human. Notice what the voice of reason here is. Saying doesn't want to be there.
Well, she's 20-something years old. How's she supposed to reason? She don't know how to reason.
More angry because apparently that's what she wants him to say and do. Like, stop running. Even telling her let's use her that he isn't ready, strong by but she is.
Yeah. And then I can guarantee you right now, I can guarantee you that if he did react the way that she wanted him to react, she would turn it around immediately. Immediately. Because right now she's saying she wants it one way, and he's stern that he's not going to go that way. But if he was to turn it around, then she'd be like, oh my God. You know what I mean? She totally, which it wouldn't be appropriate anyway, but I'm just saying, she knows he's not going to turn it around. But I'm saying, she's only saying this because he's not being the opposite of what she's saying. At least that's how I see it. That's how I feel. So, just saying.
Anger. Something fucking weird. Really fucking focusing, yes. Let's try. Try not. Try to address it without jumping down each other's throats, because all that's going to do is a mountain of fucking resentment, some species of fucking hatred within love, and totally fucking mistrust, because you say you don't trust me, you don't trust me. I get it, okay.
But someone only says that when they don't trust themselves. That's the only time someone says that. That's why she's been with 3 women. I mean, sorry, excuse me. She's been with 3 people while they were married. Wasn't there something like anyone that comes about? I heard someone say, was it on Twitter? I heard someone say that he did cheat. I don't know. I don't know if he did cheat or when, but I'm curious if he did when he did that. Because I'm wondering if he didn't cheat after she cheated because he just didn't give a shit. That's what it sounds like. But nobody knows. All you can do is speculate, right? Like, you know what I mean? But I just, because I haven't really heard much about him cheating on her, but there has been something said. So, because I mean, just because I'm Justice for Johnny and I stand by Johnny Depp and the whole thing. I'm not saying that he's perfect or, that he didn't have his ailments too. But, yeah, I believe that if he did cheat, this is just my own kind of, pondering thought, that if he did cheat on her, I feel like it probably was after she cheated on him. I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong, but anyway, that's how I feel about that. Oh no. Well, no, you fucking exhaust him.
Fucking right.
It doesn't have to be one. It's not like I'm saying, hey, choose fight.
You just gotta get mad. I'm gonna scream.
He's fucking like one after the other.
Saying that I'm the tyrant, the bully, and at the same time the guy that runs away.
Or you run away every
Okay, so what do you?
I'm not lying about it.
And what are you doing?
I already answered that. I already said that we went through this conversation literally 5 minutes ago. I answered this like 5 minutes ago.
You just said to me that I shouldn't do it.
No, I said you. I'm some, are the bullies making somebody, but I'm not constantly on you and you feel bad. That's exactly what I do. And then you know everything you take me for granted. You know everything that I do for you. You make me sound terrible. You talk about me in a terrible way. You do it. You do not fight for me. And then you want to sit there and make me sound so terrible. You don't. Everything I've already.
I think like him. That's why I'm like, it's weird.
Never.
I mean, he's 8 years older than me, but I think like him. Weird. I don't know. Maybe other people are doing that too.
Fight when there's a problem. Don't come to me. You don't make peace with me, never extend the olive branch, you're never the bigger guy, you're never the one that's like, okay, I'm gonna my own food aside for a second and say, this is bigger than us, let's stop fighting. You never are the one to come and knock on my door. You take me for granted. That's different. That's different.
Pots? Girl, pots? Someone threw a fucking pot at me? Oh, hell no. Pots? Do you know how heavy pots are?
I'm not saying that. You're putting words in my mouth and then making not separate.
And they make such big noise, you know? Although it reminds me of like those cartoons, you know, those old cartoons when the pot, she hits him in the head with a pot. I forgot to put Justice for Johnny on my ticker. I forgot. I did that yesterday too.
So that makes sense. So that's clear.
The only time I ever threw anything to you was when you fucking threw the cans at me in Australia.
Why are you trying to justify who throws things? It's whether I'm knocking on the door.
Because that is fucking violent fucking maneuver. So a man would want to get out of that area so that he doesn't get so fucking angry that he has to just pop his fucking wife.
I feel you, Doc. I feel you, John. I feel you. I feel you, Jay. I feel like he's like, oh my God, I can't win, man. She's just going to come at me no matter what.
I'm not sitting over the fact that Johnny did take her hand back and she threw a bunch at him. And notice he brought that up so very honestly while she doesn't want to discuss it. I mentioned it her door that she.
Okay, wait 1 second. Okay, so do you remember if you were at my live stream yesterday, which no one ever shows up to my live stream, so it's like I told my son, I was thinking in my mind, if you're still here, I was thinking in my mind, I'm going to ask my son to do like a funny video where like I'm making a live stream, but like I'm like all these different people in my like comment section, so I can like have somebody that like chimes into the chat, because like I probably look like an idiot live streaming by myself. But they say be patient, just do your live streams, the people will come. It's first the content, then the people, they will come. So I feel okay with it. Anyway, so do you remember, if you were in my live stream yesterday, or if you didn't see it, it's on the channel. I think it might be on Twitter, I'm not sure. But do you remember there was a little tiny snippet where Jerry Judge says something about the cigarette in him on his face? That's what made me think of that. And so I think the cigarette thing on the face, I believe the finger thing for sure. But I wonder about the cigarette thing. It's just because if I didn't hear Jerry Judge say it on audio, then I wouldn't say anything about it. But that's the only thing I feel like I'm kind of on the fence about the cigarette on the face thing. I don't know, because he said she put a cigarette out on his face. And I don't know. It's just, I heard something in the audio yesterday. So if you haven't heard the Australia audio on this channel, I played it yesterday, so I'm not going to play it again. But if you haven't heard the Australian audio, listen to it and just come back to the video on YouTube or on Twitter and let me know what you think, because Jerry Judge does say something about that. I wonder if I can speed this up to 2 times speed. I wonder how weird it would sound. Let's see. How about 1.5? Let's see what that does.
Also,
it's you can hear it. She's just wanting that door to stay open so she can still justify her fits. Yeah, right. That's funny.
go do it. Go away here. I don't know what you're fucking holding on to. You have created that. I have no. I don't know what you're fucking latched onto when you bring gray hairs. Go me when you bring. Maybe they can really figure this sort of thing out. This is not unusual. It's like almost every fight on something you can like.
Let's ask Travis tonight.
Yes, why don't we invite Travis into our fuck up, broken ass, 3 fucking wheels, trouble marriage, or we crash it straight into the wall because no one knows it's better than fucking Travis. What truth? What are you fucking talking about? I fucking even have a fucking thing to lie on. What are you fucking talking? Every fucking fight, there's a new thing. Convince yourself of a lie.
I said to you, remember, tell Travis what you just did. Did you punch me in the fucking jaw? Did you? You would say fucking, because I don't know what you're talking about. Never fucking happened.
I see, like, you're struggling with this. In fact, maybe you and Travis can, like, go and, like, tell all about whatever.
Hey,
You're investigating
stop with the
stuff.
attitude, right? Stop with the attitude. You don't want to stop.
Amber appears not to know what I'm talking about, and after she was closed, John tried to calm her before she gives several short, sharp, sound like names and talking boy apologies. She then suggests Johnny run away and have a step with Travis. Travis was
What?
and trying to identify the witness and Marshall Amber who think that Johnny spit on him.
I lied. You lied. You're
You're fucking full of shit. What lies? What conversation did I have with Travis? Big investigative studies and stuff. I'm not sitting here
no,
fighting
I was in a
about
situation.
the fight that
After
we had
you
last
fucked me
night.
up physically violent with me, I just texted Travis and said, come up here. I didn't want anything to happen.
Yeah, he does that to kind of make sure that someone's around.
That was the last
But that didn't help him because she still accused him of whatever.
That was the last one, so
Calling the liar now.
I watched you lie.
Call me a
I
liar.
watched you lie. I heard it. I was right
You
there.
don't know what? You don't tell me what liar is. We get every single fucking time. You know, you get every
We'll
single fucking
talk to Travis.
I'm not fucking talking to nobody. Fuck that. You go fucking jerk. Go jerk them off. I don't care. I don't care less. If you every single time latch on some sort of thing, when I already told you, I don't know what you're fucking talking about. You don't even know what you're talking about. You still haven't even told me what it is. Run with it.
I have told you what it is.
No, you haven't.
I said to Travis, I said to you, hey, tell Travis what just happened.
You told me to do it. You told me to do it. Go do that.
I said, no, tell him what just
That's
happened.
a lie.
That you punched me in the fucking thing, and you hit me in the face, and you said, oh, fuck, I didn't. What are you talking about? And I watched you lie, and then I said,
This is the fastest I've ever heard Johnny Depp talk. When you speed up his voice.
don't tell me what it feels like to be punched. No, will you fucking have a closed fist?
But I did not punch you. I did not fucking deck you. I fucking was hitting you. I don't know what the promotion of my actual hand was. But you're
The famous, I was not punching you, I was hitting
How are
you.
your toes? How are your
I'm not
toes?
going to hit you, but I am on you are. That's the difference between me and you. You're a fucking baby.
Because you started
What
physical fights?
the baby?
Because
Fuck
you
off.
started physical fights? You did, so I had to fuck out of it.
Yes, you did. You did the right thing, the big thing. You're admirable. Every single time.
I'm exhausted just listening to these. Okay, so we've heard that one. It's come up in court a few times. I'm not going to be on for very much longer, so I want to see if I can maybe fit in one more. I never plan on doing 5 or 6 of them. They're too long. There's like, man, she recorded for hours and hours and hours at a time. I mean, it's just crazy. But I'm trying to evaluate like which audio do I think they're going to use next week. He has a video right here that says the questions you should be asking. The lie nobody's telling. I'm wondering if, let's see. Oh my God, these are both 28 minutes apiece. Oh, jeez. Can we like speed it up? We already know there's a bunch of like, there's already too much evidence. Let's all right, we'll do the questions, and if I don't get to the other one, I'll do the part 2 tomorrow. So I'll close out this stream with this one. But the thing I'm going to do tomorrow is obviously I'll do part 2, the questions we should be asking part 2. But I'm also going to do tomorrow, I'm going to do a virtual tour of the penthouse, because later this week when they start bringing people up and she's trying to explain the stairs with Whitney and she's trying to explain these incidents, I want to know one more time the layout of the penthouse, because I know they were kind of in multiple places, but when they refer to the penthouse, because remember the 911 call was from the penthouse, so I kind of want to just revisit the tour of that and kind of understand what they're talking about. Because there has been people, like even this video we're going to watch in a second here, there is like some kind of structure where he shows kind of like a blueprint of the way that the penthouse is laid out. But I want to see the actual penthouse because they did do a tour of it before he sold it. So that's something I'm going to do tomorrow. And then I have to figure out what else I'm going to talk about tomorrow, because the audios are just something I definitely wanted to revisit. I wanted to talk about. I wanted to show the deposition, because these 3 new videos are the newest videos that Brian has put out. So I feel like those were important to see just in case they come up. And then of course the Australia, because Australia and Toronto are the ones in question when they're going to be questioning the witnesses next week and her. Because remember when she got off the stand, she wasn't talking about Australia yet. She was talking about, was it Australia when that she said when she was like trapped for 3 days or whatever? Was that Australia? Maybe I'm thinking of Toronto or San Francisco. I can't remember. But I am looking to figure out San Francisco, because I know that she wanted to see him while the TRO was active, but I don't know much about the whole San Francisco incident. So I definitely want to visit that before court starts again. And I just want to see I think it's really important for us to see that virtual tour of the penthouse. And I want to revisit these 2 videos because these are from 3 years ago. And a lot of this is reflecting on that fresh material. So I feel like this is even better to revisit these old videos, because that way also what we know we can compare to what she's remembering right now. So that's why I'm listening to these. And I knew all my live streams I'm doing, because there's just so much of an abundance of information, I'm doing all my live streams at least 3 hours. You know, I spend the first 30, 45 minutes kind of saying hello and showing you whatever I've noticed for the day. But then all these videos and audios and stuff, they're just so long. It's really hard not to be here this long, because whether or not someone's active in the chat or active at the time that I do this, when someone comes across it, hopefully they'll appreciate that I shared some of this so that they don't have to, or that maybe they might not forget. People get busy, you know, they're working and they have their families and different time zones and the whole thing. So we're going to start right here with the questions you should be asking, part 1. We're going to leave off with that tonight. Then we'll wrap and I'll skedaddle. And then tomorrow we'll do the penthouse tour. We'll do the part 2. And I think there was a third thing I said I wanted to talk about, but I'll put something together. I know what we're going to do before we do anything tomorrow, before we do the penthouse and before we do part 2. We're going to watch, I'm tempted to not even watch the behavioral panels video by myself tomorrow. I'm tempted to watch it live, to like do a reaction video on it and see what they say, because it's so exciting that these guys are putting this video out. And trust me, it is eating me alive that I want to see it so bad. Like if you know the behavioral panel, then you know everybody's waiting for this video. We are waiting to hear what they say. But so maybe I'll just hang tight and not watch it all day and then start my stream. I will start it. I'm in California. I'm on Pacific time. So I will start my stream probably tomorrow around 6. I started it at 7 tonight. So it's 9:44 here where I live in California. But tomorrow I think I'll start it at 6 instead of 7. So let's go ahead and start this question 1. And let's see what this video is about, because I think it's important for us to visit these videos that are so old and have a reaction to those, because these are kind of details that we may or may not know about or haven't heard about or whatever. Because remember, we're only going by her recollection right now for these major episodes. And these are the same exact incidents that have been in question the whole time. So here we go.
Hey everyone, me again.
He's so cute.
Everyone to watch my
Everyone.
video and for all the positive feedback I received. After tossing around the idea of even going forward with the video,
This is only his second video on the channel.
Put it back there and how long it's taken to get this one done. Also, it has turned out to be a much larger breakdown and analysis than I anticipated.
It's really like that too. When you do a video like he's doing, it takes forever.
One, my editing software bogged down quite a bit once we get around the 30-minute mark because I'm having so many pictures and market documents throughout. Two, nobody wants to watch a 1-hour video with 4 docs and photos and analysis, and I don't really blame them. And three, one 30-minute video already takes forever to upload, so I'll put the first one up immediately and then start uploading the second. So,
all right, here we go.
Transition point for into two videos, but realistically, it'll be one long video when watching them back to back. This video is focusing primarily on the events that allegedly took place on the night of May 21st, 2016, and breaking down.
They're going to talk about this in court. Important. If you just joined in, I wanted to make sure and watch this.
My goal is to ask questions where things don't add up or align. Questions you may have already asked yourself. Some of these
Good thing you're here.
Answer myself for the most part, and others I may never get an answer to, but the fact that those questions remain keeps my interest. I'll try to tackle each question in sequential order of when each individual claims something did, or in some cases did not happen. However, because of an overbearing amount of conflicting details, there will undoubtedly be some jumping around, but I promise I'll try to make it as organic and easy to follow as possible. Some questions may seem inconsequential, but when all these inconsistencies began to pile up, it was what truly gained my full attention to the details therein. Most of these questions will boil down to who is telling the truth due to the oftentimes radically different telling of the events by each individual.
3 years ago, this video was made. Reaction.
I should go ahead and show something I plan to reference multiple times throughout the video. With the addition of Johnny's declaration, we got confirmation of several things, most notably which condo each alleged incident and action took place. As some of you may already be aware, at the time, Johnny owned 5 condos on the penthouse level of the Eastern Columbia building in Los Angeles, all of which he has sold since the divorce. If you watched my first video, you know I'm very much a visual thinker, so in order to better understand what each person was claiming happened and where, I had to do a lot, and I'm doing a lot of work. Starting with this. This is a floor plan of the penthouse level of the Eastern Columbia building. I don't have a link to this because, well, to put it bluntly, this one's mine. You see, with each exhausting search, I was only able to find minimal imaging of the floor plan, always somewhat blurry or.
God, that thing's huge.
Condos also low quality, so I took it upon myself to research using the information available to me, the blurry plans, photos, and a ton of patience to recreate a high-quality version of the floor plan. And I painstakingly redrew everything myself. I assure you, it is extremely accurate and will go a long way in allowing you to mind listeners to understand.
He does spend so much time on his videos.
These will often be referred to as condos or condominiums, apartments, or more officially penthouses. These terms are all interchangeable, and unless quoting directly from different statements, I will mostly refer to them as condos. As you can see, each condo is officially numbered 1 through 5, so let's just focus in on those. These are not numbers I arbitrarily gave, but rather the actual numbers on the flags outside of the entrance of each condo. This is important to note because they will be referenced throughout.
So this is the hallway. They're going to be bringing all these pictures up this week.
Side note, their marriage only lasted a few months as they were split soon after she was seen with something while visiting Amber in Australia.
Oh, great.
But that's not what this video is about. Condo 2 will be the least
Looks like Jason Momoa, doesn't it? Just saying.
This is not the location of any of the alleged actions of the night. Condo 3 is arguably the most important, as it was the living quarters of Johnny and Amber and the location of each incident of alleged abuse cited in Amber's declaration. Condos 3, 4, and 5 were said to have somewhat secret doors that were attached to the 3 previously separate condos, creating essentially one night space for Amber and Johnny and his family. Condo 4 seemingly a gathering and entertainment space, and Condo 5 referenced by Amber and Johnny in the closet at our studio. From everything I've learned, I believe these connected entrances were on the second floor of each of the 3 condos, and these 3 condos were the only units said to be connected.
So they're side by side.
Only accessible from within the condos, meaning the only entry into each condo from the hallway is from this first house floor you see here. And if I'm correct, which I'm fairly certain I am, the only way to access the secret doors between condos 3 through 5 would be to enter through the main floor hallway door, then to go upstairs. That will become a very important piece of information later on. I am very familiar with the layout of the second floor.
I think they're saying that because something about Elon Musk had a key or something. And that's the way she let James Franco in too.
Plus, if you would ever to recreate accurately. Okay, let's get back on track. The first question comes fairly early in Amber's declaration. She claims that when Johnny arrived at the condo on the night of May 21st, her friends Elizabeth Morris, Rocco Pink, and Rocco's fiance Josh Drew were all present. This gives the assumption that they were there to see Johnny arrive. At least that's what I interpret as being present. However, according to Raquel's declaration, she never mentioned witnessing Johnny or even being aware of it until later receiving a text from Amber which caused her to go over to Johnny and Amber's condo. But we'll get to that in a bit. According to John's declaration, to the best of his knowledge, Amber was alone in their condo when he arrived. Raquel was not present at the time of his arrival, and he would only see and interact with Joshua and the woman whom he assumed was Elizabeth Moss before leaving after the alleged incident had occurred. That interaction taking place in a completely different condo. I find it interesting that one of Amber's key witness statements is more in line with what Johnny said to Amber. That being, Johnny or Raquel say that Raquel was present when Johnny arrived at the couple's condo. Johnny can't account for her whereabouts at the time, and Raquel says she was in her neighboring condo with her fiancé up until the moment she received the text from Amber. So which is it? Were they present when Johnny arrived, or were they simply just in the building? Because if the latter is the case, I have a completely different idea of what the word present means. So that makes this currently still an unanswered question. The next sequence of events raises so many questions. This is mainly due to statements from Amber and her two witnesses not adding up or matching up, or sometimes opposing what each other stated in their declarations, as Johnny has outright denied their claims. This is going to have a lot of moving parts and people and conflicting information, so I'll do my best to use all the pictures I have and the floor plans to help everyone better understand all of it. If Amber's friends were present in the condo when Johnny arrived, even if nobody stated they would leave the condo, they didn't apparently leave the couple alone shortly after, because Amber's declaration states that only she and John were having a peaceful conversation on the couch in their living room, and she tried to cover him about the death of his mother. When Johnny began to become increasingly enraged about something that Amber would only say as something that was untrue, it was then Amber claims to have called one of Johnny's trusted employees to help calm her down, but it did not work. I don't know whether this means that the call did not go through, or the employee simply couldn't calm him, according to Amber. It is worth noting that she did not say the name of the employee she attempted to call, much like she didn't say what Johnny was so upset about. But more on that than did. Johnny denies the attempt to contact any employee. In fact, he claims to have had no interaction with Amber during his entire time there, saying he was only there to get some of his personal belongings, and brought two members of the security detail right outside the condo door because he was afraid of what Amber might try to do while it was after this attempted phone call that Amber claims Johnny continued to become enraged, and she feared for her safety. This prompted her to send it.
Okay, I know I shouldn't pause it because I know I'm getting ready to go. But do you think what he's talking about is the phone call? I mean, is the conversation we just heard a minute ago? Like when they were going back and forth and he said, let's call Travis and this. Do you think it was that conversation? Because when they called Travis, if you guys remember on his, because, you know, Johnny's case is rested. But do you guys remember them calling Travis last? And Travis was saying that he was called up to the apartment or whatever it is, and he came up and stayed around or something because they were having some disagreement or something, and he was trying to make sure that Johnny was safe and he was trying to get him out of there. So I don't know if I'm on the right track right now because there's so many freaking incidents, but I think this is what he's talking about. So if you heard, so it's so weird how this is kind of coming together now, like wrapping up my live stream where I just kind of basically I don't even know what this is. I'm trying to figure out even if I'm live streaming correctly. But so this kind of worked out for me in terms of wrapping up this live stream if someone gets bored and wants to watch this in the replay, because we started out, remember, where we heard her saying on Twitter, if you've been here this long, the piece that's on Twitter talked about that she was making a plan. You guys remember that? If anybody remembers that and you watch this stream from beginning to end. So I played you a clip of Twitter first, this new audio that's surfacing that she was making a plan to blackmail him, right? Then we went through the stream and I got on my relationship psychology stuff. But then we heard part of the audio. Well, we saw the deposition where she showed nothing, her demeanor, she was aloof, she was flippant, she wasn't emotional, she wasn't in her feelings, none of that. Remember, she was kind of like, in fact, you know what I mean? She had that kind of a demeanor. So there was that deposition clip, right? Then where she said, I didn't punch you. And then we listened to the audio where I don't know if that's the same conversation or if they're reflecting on that. And then now he's explaining, because remember, this is 3 years ago. This is one of Brian's first videos on this channel. That's why I wanted to go all the way to the beginning of the channel. And he's got these are the questions. So he's kind of creating context, creating the foundation to tell you the story. So that's why I feel like this is really important and the reason why I'm playing this on my live stream is because next week when it's her side and she's telling a completely different side of the story, he's breaking it down, and now it'll all make sense when we see court, and we'll understand when they're talking about it. So I didn't mean to interrupt him saying that, but I wanted to kind of piece together how I've done this as well. So I'm kind of proud of myself. And it was all unintentional, but somehow things work out. All right.
Asking her to work out, asking her to come over. And this is where things already start to get a little.
Remember, she called 911.
Because this is essentially where Raquel's declaration concerning that night begins. She claims she was in her condo with her fiance Josh. She makes no mention of Liz Marks.
We listened to that 911 call.
Raquel never mentions Liz Marks throughout her entire declaration. Raquel claims to have received Amber's text approximately 10:06 p.m. I'm assuming that's based on a timestamp on the text, because otherwise that is a very specific time to approximate. Both Amber and Raquel claim the text was asking Raquel to come over. That instantly bothers me. Amber fears for her safety from a man whom, according to her, has already devastatingly abused her a number of times and even caused her to fear for her life. And yet the text is not help, get help, call 911 or anything of that sort, but a simple, can you come over? I can also only assume that the text does not imply an emergency, as Raquel went down the hall to Johnny and condo alone. If you recall, Raquel claimed she received the text while she was in her condo with Josh's group. I genuinely hope it doesn't get taken as a knock on Calvin, because that is not my opinion. But if it was implied in the text that Amber was in danger, why?
Remember, she goes, "I gotta go" on the 911 call.
If Amber fears for her safety, why is the text actually asking Raquel to come over instead of implying danger? Again, questions I can't answer.
I have questions.
The action of Raquel going to the condo. She says she immediately went over to Amber's place. This is another moment in the video where I'll be throwing a lot of information at you in a relatively short amount of time. Raquel claims that when she got to the door, she heard Johnny and Amber arguing inside. Please make an important mental note that even though Raquel's condo is extremely close to Johnny and Amber's, that she did not claim to have heard them arguing until she got to the door. Not from her condo, nor in the hallway, but only when she got to the door could she hear them inside. Also, from a time standpoint, this would be around the time, according to Amber, that Johnny would have been demanding she call her friend Io so it's right that not the supposed untrue thing Johnny was so upset about, or perhaps while Io was on speaker and Johnny was allegedly screaming at him over the phone as well. Again, note that Raquel claims she could hear both Johnny and Amber arguing, not just Amber Johnny. Raquel states she knocked on the door without answering. She makes no mention of the security guards, Terry Judge and John Depp, who each, along with Johnny, claim they were both waiting just outside the door while Johnny was inside. Both security guards also make no mention of seeing Raquel while she waited outside the door. We can safely assume Raquel was claiming to have been alone while knocking on the door. And we know the security guards weren't already inside because it is one of the only things that everyone agrees to in their statements. That being the security guards entered the apartment after Raquel was already inside. But how did she get inside without security seeing her? There are multiple potential answers to this. According to her statement, once Raquel knocked and no one answered, she quickly ran back to her condo to get a key she had to the door. She claimed she was back to the door and unlocked it in less than a minute, which is believable considering how close the two condos are to one another. So there's one potential answer as how she got inside.
See,
now then,
they need to keep
security to see her, even though they claim to be waiting outside the door. I can assume one argument might have been away from the door during the time Raquel was there and knocking, but for a hole in that theory, they would have had to have been a long distance away for them to have not heard any knocking and not have been there when Raquel returned to unlock the door. Also, according to everyone, they later entered very shortly after Raquel upon hearing Amber scream. Again, remember when Raquel said she heard Johnny and Amber arguing when she got to the door? This means they would have had to have been near the door to hear it and rush in as quickly as they did. To briefly sidestep, I feel I need to ask this question again. If, when Raquel initially went to the condo without a key in hand, Josh Drew did not go with her because maybe it didn't seem like an emergency. When she ran back to their place, rushing to get a key to unlock the door to help Amber, why did he not go with her again? After all, Raquel did actually state in her forsworn declaration that Amber had been fighting her many times over the past few years about Johnny's physical and emotional abuse. One would think she would want all the help she could get when going to potentially save her friend, right? Those questions really bother me. But to get back on track, I have another potential answer as to how and when Raquel entered the apartment. I might have to jump forward and back in the telling of this to make my point, so bear with me. According to Johnny's declaration, when he arrived at their condo at night, Amber was alone and upstairs. He claims he went upstairs to gather some things from their bedroom. Upon going upstairs, Amber went downstairs. Neither of them interacted. While gathering things, he could hear Amber downstairs talking very loudly, already on the phone with Io, in what he describes as mocking and golden terms. He says that when he came downstairs, Raquel was now in the condo, sitting on the couch next to Amber, who was still on the phone with Io. Johnny claims it's possible that Raquel entered through House 4. And here's why I think it's a strong possibility.
I'm trying to
shown that in order to hear Amber screaming and enter the apartment so quickly, the security guard would have to have been very near the hallway entry door to condo 3. But if Raquel did enter condo 3 through condo 4, security would have still seen her going into condo 4 on her way, right? Yes, unless she was already in condo 4. I'm thinking this could truly be a possibility based on the words used by Amber in her declaration and John's version of the events of that night, coupled with other areas first referencing who was present when Johnny arrived, Amber stated that Raquel and Josh lived in an adjacent apartment. Later in her declaration, Amber would claim Josh and Raquel took her into their condo for safety. So we have Amber establishing early on the proximity/location of Raquel and Josh's condo, and later referring to it simply as their condominium. So my question is, when Amber claims to have sent text Raquel asking her to come over, why say Raquel was in the condo next door? And how is she aware of Raquel's exact whereabouts? Again, she had already established how close Raquel's condo is, and this one good technicality would mean nothing. So Raquel's condo isn't exactly the condo next door. That distinction belongs to condo 2, and yes, condo 4. Is it possible Amber was referring to Raquel's condo with completely ignoring this and every other point of declaration? Sure, absolutely. But given that the security guards made no second of seeing Raquel,
Oh, really?
isn't it also possible that Amber knew Raquel was already in condo 4 at the time of Johnny's arrival? Not in the adjacent condo, not in her condo, but very specifically just the condo next door. It is at the very least a possibility which I feel should be considered.
Okay.
The possible answer to the second question about Amber being aware of Raquel's exact whereabouts, like knowing what condo she was in at the moment, is a confirmation of that knowledge. One needs not look much further than Johnny telling of the events. I know I'm sidestepping quite a bit.
Interesting.
Now, but it seems like a natural place to go over this. Trust me, it should all come full circle by the end. Since we've already established Johnny's version of it, when he comes downstairs, only now finding Raquel joining Amber in the living room on the couch, let's just get from there. He claims Amber was still on the phone with IO, and Johnny asked to speak to him. He claims he said something to the effect, you don't want, you can have her. This could be referring to the rumor that after living with the couple rent-free sometime in 2015, IO overstepped his boundaries and was unceremoniously kicked out. I can't elaborate more than that. I can only add that this was hinted at, albeit laughingly, in IO's article he wrote on Refinery. It should be noted that while Amber claims Johnny gripped the phone from her hand and began to scream insults and profanities at IO, Johnny denied this, and surprisingly enough, I wasn't claiming Johnny screamed insults or profanities at him either. Only they heard Johnny yelling at Amber. Again, as we continue, you'll notice some things our witnesses say are more in line with what.
This is going to be interesting when in court next week.
Johnny then claims he tossed the phone on the couch and tossed it from the kitchen away from Amber, never touching her in any way, and without the phone hitting her anywhere, only landing on the couch. Did IO happen to hear anything? Well, as a matter of fact, in his own article, he seems very careful to say he heard the phone drop and tweeted things like, I heard her scream. Believe it or not, I actually think these statements could have some truth. In my opinion, I think, aside from some very important omissions, I have heard many of the perceived sounds of verbal exchanges he believed when audibly witnessing abuse as it happened. But as I continue, I hope to open your mind to the possibility that I know exactly what he needed, and I can't emphasize that word enough, needed to hear to give a convincing argument in his declaration and article attached to it. Johnny claims that as he went into the kitchen area, Amber began to scream. I believe this is the scream
Gotcha. Gotcha. Thank you for commenting.
Security guards who, again, were waiting outside the entry door, rushed inside, only to find Johnny standing in the kitchen, while Amber and Raquel were both in the living room area, nowhere near Johnny. Important to note, according to this information by Johnny and two members of the security, Raquel was in the condo with Amber while Amber was presumably on the phone with IO. This contradicts the statements made by Amber that the phone call was ended before Raquel and the security guard entry. According to their declarations, upon their entry, Amber was screaming, "Stop hitting me, Johnny," into the phone. Now, is it a possibility this could be exactly what IO was saying he heard in his declaration? And just a weird, what may seem like an insincere question. Who, when allegedly is having their hair and face violently pulled and being struck, is able to string together full, coherent sentences like, "Stop hitting me, Johnny, stop hitting me, Johnny," not only narrating what's happening, but also properly identifying who is doing it for someone else to hear over the phone. So, again, I ask, is it not a possibility that I heard exactly what he needed to hear, to not be lying about what he heard, but still convey what needed to be conveyed for the sake of convincing? Another fair question. According to Johnny and the security guards, once Amber realized they had entered and she was screaming for Johnny to stop hitting her into the phone while Johnny was not near her, she changed from present to past tense.
Gone girl, man. Gone girl. I'm telling you.
By the quick entry of the security guard, began defending Brian with Amber, claiming things like, "He hit me with the phone, man. That's the last time you hit me, Johnny." Again, detailing what allegedly happened and properly identifying Johnny to IO over the phone. She would allegedly follow up by saying, if we hit her again, she would call police. This is something confirmed by several parties on both sides. Johnny, ignoring his security details, not him becoming definitively upset at the screen's allegations. I would say this is something along the lines of what Johnny feared she would do, and the reason he claims to have brought the security along in the first place. Johnny would, I can safely assume, with a very elevated tone, say things like, "What are you talking about? You're crazy. I didn't hit you."
I don't know. Probably. They all backed away from her now, though, so I don't know what depositions they're bringing in. I don't know.
Call 911 into the phone immediately followed by them saying, "Let's just get out of here, boss," and leaving Johnny in tow. I feel I should add that these official statements, given their declaration,
I think she works everyone she knows. I think she works everyone. She already has a plan for. She targets everyone she wants something from.
After leaving condo 3, but before leaving the building, Johnny claimed to go with his against condo 5 to discover Josh's group, a woman he now presumes to be Elizabeth Marks, and a dog. He told them to leave the condo, and they did. Thereafter, he and the security team would leave the building. He claims they seem to be operating some sort of bee business from condo 5.
My dog stepped on a bee.
Otherwise, been unaware of unless he actually saw it, having not been there in a month. So why did I find that important? Well, a couple of things. This is the condo Amber and Raquel claimed Johnny went into after the alleged assault and continued to destroy Amber's personal belongings, which Johnny denies. Also, I want to point out that Johnny was very likely correct about using it.
Dude, she's always hustling. She's hustling all the time, even now.
And look where she and Elizabeth Marks were set up the next morning. That's right. Selling all sorts of bees, giving card readings, with oddly enough, good vibes. So this leaves us full circle, like I said it would, and offers key comparison points as we move forward with Amber and her version of the events. If this is what Raquel was literally prepping for the following morning, it would make perfect sense that her and her fiancé Josh weren't just chilling in their condo when John got there, but were rather busy working to get things ready for the following morning, just as it was observed by John. So is it not an even more likely possibility now that Josh threw the quick marks and Raquel were all potentially in condo 5, with Raquel moving into condo 4 upon John's arrival when he stationed the security team just outside the door to condo 3? Keep in mind that condo 5 connects to condo 4, which then connects to condo 3. This would certainly allow Raquel to enter the condo unbeknownst to Johnny and the security team and help Amber's knowledge of her whereabouts. It is, at the very least, a possibility. Now let's briefly go back to Raquel claiming she unlocked the door to condo 3. She claimed upon opening the door she saw Amber on the couch from the living room, covering her head with her arms and hands as Johnny was loudly screaming at her. I find it interesting that, according to Raquel, this was less than a minute after hearing both of them barking through the door. It would only have angry Johnny yelling while Amber is covered up for protection. About how we got to this point, we need to rewind just a bit to figure out what allegedly happened inside the condo leading up to Raquel's claimed entrance. So let's temporarily put a pin in this exact moment. According to Amber's declaration, after sending the text to Raquel, Johnny continued to rant in an aggressive manner. Then he demanded they call Amber's friend Io to the right. Apparently, she claims it was Johnny's idea to call Io to prove the thing he believed someone did. Io does claim to have received a phone call that night concerning this thing he thought someone had done. So what was the thing they keep referring to? People say, even though they say it is the truth. Well, if you watch my first video, you already know. I'll give you the abbreviated version. A month earlier, on April 21st,
That's what they're going to address next week, April 21st.
It was on this night that Amber claimed Johnny assaulted her, but more recent reports include Johnny's accusation. He alleged while he was reading in bed, an angry Amber punched him twice in the face before he grabbed her to stop her and pushed her onto the bed before leaving, telling her not to follow him. He claims that sometime after he left, she and potentially others pooped in their bed. The next day, they find the poop in their bed.
I still can't get over that.
Amber does not deny the poop being there, but claims it was from her roughly 5-pound teacup Yorkie. There are photos we have not seen yet, thank God, but the poop was said to have been way too big to have come from such a small dog. After these allegations came out, Io did say that this was what the May 21st phone call was about. Now back to that night in May. Amber claims as the call went through on speaker, Johnny ripped the phone from her hands and began to scream profanities and insult at Io. Io would yell for Amber to get out of the house. At this time that Amber claims Johnny grabbed the phone, wound with his arm like a baseball pitcher, and threw the phone at her face, striking her with great force. Does anyone else find it a little odd that she claims Johnny grabbed the phone twice? What is, if when the call connected, Johnny ripped the phone from Amber's hand, why would he have to grab the phone again? I presume at this point he's still holding it from the initial ripping from Amber's hand, right? Again, odd. All I'm saying. Want to know what else is odd? At least to me, Io's version of the phone call. It doesn't match Amber's at nearly any turn. The Amber claims that the moment the call went through on speaker, Johnny immediately ripped the phone away and began his tirade against Io. However, according to Io's declaration, not only did Johnny not immediately start hurling insults, but Io was able to keep Amber long enough on the call to discover what the phone call was concerning, what Johnny was upset about, and what Amber was asking Io to do to try and help calm. It was only after all this that Io claimed Johnny flew into a rage, but aimed at Amber, not him. To their credit, there are a couple of things that match up.
I don't know.
After the phone allegedly hit Amber in the face,
They set him up. That's what I think. All of them.
This hair grabbing accusation is somewhat mirrored.
Yeah, I agree.
Supposedly hearing Johnny bizarrely verbalize his actions like some kind of early 1960s Bond film. The other thing that matches up is at that moment, Amber claimed to have 911 to Io. Io also claims that after hearing Amber crying and begging Johnny to stop hitting her, to have heard her yell, call 911 before call, depending on your perspective, abruptly or conveniently disconnected. After the disconnection, Amber claims Johnny continued to pull her hair, strike her, and violently grab her face.
Oh, God, this girl. I just can't. I can't.
Right after Amber called Ryder both claimed it in the moment after he heard him yell, call 911. I say nobody presumably had possession because this was after the phone was said to have been in her face. She claimed she covered her head in face. Meaning she didn't have the alertness, time, or freaking pick the phone back up after it allegedly off her face, landing who knows where. We can assume Johnny didn't phone call because he was, according to Amber, using one hand to pull her hair together to grab her face and strike her. So this same phone call that did not end when the phone allegedly struck Amber's face with great force after being thrown fastball just so happened to end immediately after Amber yelled 911. That is, what's the word? Convenient? This adds to the possibility that Johnny and his security could be telling the truth about Amber yelling it unwarrantedly into the phone. One could argue that this is a final desperate move and scare tactic before ending the call itself while Johnny was leaving the condo. This seems like a good stopping point. Take a breath and move on to the video.
No, tomorrow. Okay, I think I think they all were in on it. I honestly do. I really do. I think they all stood to gain something from it. All these fucking people she had in her circle. I really do. This is just I don't know. I mean, you know, that's why that key, I mean, I don't know if you saw the beginning of my stream, but there's something going around on Twitter that where that, you know, that one little clip where she's actually explaining the plan. That's why, you know, that's why the knife, like that's why, remember in court, like towards the end of Johnny's case, they were talking about the text message between them and how they were supposed to bring these knives. They kept referring to them as them. Remember that? Yeah. Yeah. I know. And you know what? I bet, you know, well, there was already talk, like, you know, like I said, I can tell you right now, I can tell you right now, this video this guy's doing, I mean, I commend him. These videos that he's doing are so hard. These are, I mean, he took days to do this video, and this video is 3 years old. So, I mean, he's probably an ace at it now, but like just to put together, you know, all the slides and the to clip the documents and to highlight. Oh my goodness, wow. That's why I would rather do it as a reaction video, because I thought about, oh, I'll pull the audios myself. No, that's not. That's okay. We'll just watch somebody else's video and talk about it. But I honestly believe that from that clip that's floating around on Twitter, she had this. That's why I feel like that Gone Girl. If you haven't seen it, that Gone Girl video, it's Gone Girl. It's Gone Girl, Amber Heard, the something similarities or whatever. I played it the first night that I did my stream because this is only my third stream. But that's why it's so similar to Gone Girl. It really is, because she planned this entire thing. And I think she talked to her friends and her family about this. And I think that they all planned it. I think they all had a role in it. And I think, you know, that they knew that they would gain something because he had so much money. And, you know, I think honestly, though, to be honest, I think she promised them money. And honestly, I don't think she was going to give it to him. If she did promise anybody, I think she would have threw all those people under the bus before herself, you know, because all these people have backed away from her now. I mean, and they're probably glad. They're probably glad. Her poor sister's stuck with her, you know what I mean? And if her sister's scared of her, you know, like I said, I mean, there's no way to get away from someone like this. Her sister wouldn't leave her alone anyway. Like if Johnny can't even, if her partners can't even leave the room, could you imagine like her, the way she's parenting, or like her sister, because now they're, you know, her mom has passed away or whatever. Like she does this with every single person she knows, and she will do it in her parenting as well. You know what I mean? So this girl is just pure evil. She's yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like I mean, the audio that they played at the end of his case when he was at his lowest, and she said, "Here, that knife isn't sharp enough. Let me give you a sharper one." I mean, come on, Jesus, you know? I don't know. I just, I mean, you know, and that's what makes me like. That's why I was saying, like, to not do a stream that's not 3.5. I mean, there's so much to recap, and we're only at halftime. Like, just to even like, there's 11 hours of audio. 11. So when I decided to revisit these audios tonight, when I was going to do this, I was like, how am I going to do? Yeah, I mean, no one's going to stick around for, you know, I mean, if I was going to do a long stream, you know, I would do it, you know, like from the morning, just because there's so much audio. I mean, it's just really hard to get through, even at 2 times speed or anything. It's just so much. And like, And I mean, I'm 50 years old, you know, and he's 58 now. He was 52 when all this happened. So it's like how he could have the energy, you know what I mean, to put up with this consistently and still be attracted to her. Like like with everything she put him through, no wonder why he was like burying himself, you know, in just a way to numb himself. Like, and I mean, you know, I mean, I understand, like I was saying earlier, you know, about everybody saying, hey, just leave him, just leave him. But I mean, like I said, if he truly cared about her, because I mean, I don't think it was love. I don't think either one of them, you know, ever loved that, you know, come on now, you're mature, you know, love is not that. But I think he really cared about her. And I think he was waiting around for her to mature a little bit, hoping, you know, that he could get something out of it because he's a relationship person. I mean, all his previous partners that he's had, married or not, have been long term for him. You know, 3 years, 4 years, you know, with Vanessa, it was 14 years. I think even Kate Moss was quite, I think it was 4 or 6 years. I don't know. He was with her for a while. So he's used to planting his feet with someone. You know what I mean? He's not used to just like dating somebody for a short period of time. And that, I mean, just hearing these audios and just listening to him put that story together, that's exhausting. That's exhausting. That's why, honestly, when we think about it rationally, she couldn't do this by herself. There's no way. She couldn't do this by herself. She couldn't put this entire plan together and all this stuff. She needed accomplices. She needed people. She needed people. And the only way that these people would bend to do what she wants is money. So, you know, there was money. There was money promised somewhere. And that, you know, I mean, that's just my theory, but I honestly, I mean, I'm sure you probably believe the same. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I totally agree. Thank you so much too for joining in. I know, poor me, like this is only my third stream and I don't really know how to structure it to make it exciting. You know what I mean? Like I just know how to be myself. So, but like I said, this is just one of those cases. I mean, I wish I had multiple people to talk to, you know, about the case because I don't know how many people are actually interested, you know. But it's just I kind of like running the stream by myself, but it's kind of hard when you're like when you start the stream and you know someone like thank you so much because if that was you that's been here this whole time, I really appreciate it. I want to say thank you so much. um but you know, it also came out like earlier as well that I didn't know that she was a stripper at some point before she started doing whatever it is that she was doing. So she just has a sus background anyways, you know what I mean? Like everything that comes out of her mouth is just a joke, you know? And it's hard and I'm sure especially if you're on Twitter. I mean, I'm sure, I mean, I think that the DV community and the SA community, they have all the right to like be upset with the way she's mocking this. Cuz she's mocking this. I mean, this is serious stuff, you know? This isn't like she's just getting on the stand saying, "Hey, he just knocked me around." No, she's bringing up stuff that she's going to be I mean, it's already bad, but like she's going to be this is never going to leave her. I mean, she's over. She's over. It's done. I mean, she's going to have to go and live a quiet average life somewhere without being I mean, I know she's got Elon Musk in her pocket, so maybe he'll put her up somewhere. But either way, I mean, any limelight, you know, future is gone. It's gone. You know, I mean, there's people out there that are saying, well, you know, that's the way Hollywood works. It's like something's, you know, dramatic and drama in the news and everything, and then it just dissipates and, you know, they go back to work and this and that. But this right here, I feel like is just it's too big. It's almost like she's gonna be, if you agree, let me know in the chat, but I feel like she's gonna be the first female that takes the big hit the way the first male took the big hit with Me Too. So I feel like she's going to be the first female that falls in the Men Too movement. Do you know what I'm saying? She's going to be the first person that goes down the way like Matt Lauer or you know Hart Weinstein or you know what I'm saying? Like she's going to be the first person to make history with this kind of thing because she's just mocked. She's mocked this thing and it's such a serious thing. I mean, this is such a big deal to those that are really truly trapped in, you know, serious situations. So, I mean, some of the tweets I see, about people being very, very upset, I know they're calling her, they're making, jokes about her and stuff like that. But I mean, this is really bottom line, we have to find humor in it because it's just so out there, like Gone Girl. That's why I like referring to that video, because whoever made it, like, really, really did a lot of research on like her behaviors, and it was following this case obviously for quite some time, because that right there, the way that she's kind of, it's almost like to a T. It's weird. It's just like, Dr. Curry, like I don't know if you were here yesterday, but I went over the two psychologists and I lean towards um why I lean towards Dr. Curry, because Dr. Curry kind of laid the format out, knowing that disorder, histrionic and borderline, so well, knowing, kind of setting the pace for all of us, giving us those like tidbits and those clues to look for, knowing that that was truly what she was. Because PTSD, it's a different entity. It works a lot different. It's not as like as visible, like as out loud, like as there's not a lot of signs with PTSD. It's a lot more sort of a quiet, sort of stewing kind of, I mean, you've seen it all over the news. I mean, there's been, certain cases with people that have committed heinous crimes and, just randomly, or whatever. So I believe that Dr. Curry was really the benefit in this, because I think whether board certified or not, she kind of really saw it in her. I think it was beyond testing. I think she could tell. She could tell right away. You know what I mean? And she probably just has a lot of patients that she's treated that carry these kind of, what do you call it? Like carry these kind of personality traits and things like that, So I definitely agree with you 100%, and I'm glad that they were able to get someone like her, I know everybody's talking about, oh, she's just beautiful and this and that, but I mean, she really does articulate, explaining, because mental health is very complicated for a lot of people. I mean, it's not, mental health and understanding the way diagnosis works and therapy works and all that. And the mental health industry is a very complicated thing to understand anyway. But at the same time, I feel like she put it in layman's terms, while the other lady was kind of just selling herself. She was so condescending and so arrogant that she didn't come. It's like, I don't know. She came wanting to look like the celebrity status that Johnny Depp was, and that's not why she was there. She was there to kind of break things down like Dr. Curry did, to understand what it is that we're observing, So that's why I like Dr. Curry so much. But yeah, I agree. I agree that she laid it out as well. Also, I'm glad that she gave us like a blueprint of what to look for, and how and it's so weird how like everything just fell into place as soon as she opened her mouth, her movements, everything. It was like, and she got, I mean, I will be honest, like when she first started it, but although, like I said, I've been like researching narcissistic abuse for so long that it's like, it's just, she's like a textbook example of that. And that's why I like Richard Grandin so much, just because he does make it very simple to understand as well. And he will tell you they are predators. They're not predators in terms of like the way that we think of predators like Bundy and things like that, but they're predators and they're masters at what they do. You know what I mean? Because they're so well calculated that it's hard to pinpoint, what their motives are. But they know, like she set out immediately anyway. So, and I'm not saying, like I said, I mean, like I've said since the stream started, I don't believe that Johnny Depp was innocent through the whole thing. I just don't believe the allegations that she's laid upon him. I think that he acted very similar to anyone that would be in a relationship like that, and I think that he tried to handle it the best way he could, and he was, unfortunately abusing his own, I don't know, battles within, I guess, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like his own dependencies at the same time, So, and she didn't make it any easier. So, but thank you so much for being here. It was so nice to see somebody in the chat. And, when I watch videos on how to do a live stream, and they say, when you start to do this, and you're just starting, you have to pretend when you're running your streams that you have to pretend like someone's there, you know. I'm very comfortable in front of the camera, so that doesn't bother me. But in this something like this, it's so important to, you know, to communicate with someone else. So like I said, I'm trying to kind of map this out as best as I can, and you know, build this channel, and hopefully we'll have you know, a bigger chat in the weeks to come, and hopefully you'll come back and, you know, and visit again. So yeah, I agree. I agree. She's beautiful. Yeah, I agree. She's beautiful. Yeah. I also, another thing to add, to piggyback on what you said about, you know, how she does her work. I feel like she also cares about her profession. And I think the other lady, maybe she does care about her profession, the Dr. Hughes lady, but I feel like she was too busy trying to tell us, you know, what she's achieved, and and she was so biased, you know, by saying her and she so much. Like I did agree with the, you know, the vast popular, you know, the vast population of saying she was very biased on not, because Dr. Curry did not do that. She didn't do that. She didn't narrow it down to a he or she. So I agree very much so. I agree that she cares about her profession, and that's what makes her a good psychologist, you know. So I don't think she did any of that for status. And I think, you know, the whole drinks thing and the whole dinner thing, I mean, these are celebrities. How else are they going to meet with people? They can't just go and meet them out on a public restaurant. So it was kind of absurd the way they brought that up, you know, like where else were they supposed to go? He's an A-list actor. You know what I mean? Like they're not just going to meet at a Denny's, you know, or at a TGIF's. I mean, it was just ridiculous for her to bring that up, don't you think? It just, yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, so I think this is a good way for us to kind of segue into tomorrow. So we've seen part 1. We'll see part 2. I definitely, like I said, tomorrow, I'm going to stream about 6 o'clock my time. So I don't know if you're on the East Coast, but I like doing it a little bit later. I did it at 4 o'clock, and I don't know. Someone did show up at 4 o'clock my time, which would have been 7 o'clock Eastern time, which I think is kind of a good time. So maybe 5 o'clock is probably better. So, because I usually, I'm trying to even these out about 3.5 hours at this point, just because there's so much to cover. But I definitely want to take the virtual tour. And I don't know if you noticed, but in some of the photos from one of the videos that we saw before, he was showing that white staircase. And I was wondering if maybe that's what they're talking about, that white staircase, when she talks about the stairs. I was curious if that's the stairwell they're talking about. They might not. Oh, girl. I watch LawTube all the time. I watch Emily D. Baker. I watch Legal Bites. I do like Hogue a lot. I'm addicted to Logic, Good Logic. I guess his name is Joe. I like him a lot. And I like Christina Pickles, I guess is her name, I guess. But I like, she has Andrea the Attorney, I believe is her name. I really like her as well. But I like Emily D. Baker the most because she was a prosecutor, and I like the way that I like the way her mind works. You know, I like Legal Bites and I like LawTube. I haven't found another attorney that I like as much as I like Emily D. Baker. I do like Legal Bites a lot, but I like Nate the lawyer, and I like I said, I like Good Logic. I like when they all kind of get in the same room, you know, and they all kind of toss around, you know, their theories and stuff. And I like that lawyer, you know, I like him a lot also, but there's just I like him, but not as much. I do like Rob though. I mean, if you watch Legal Bites, you know they've convinced Rob to make a channel. So I like him a lot. He's somebody I'm going to subscribe to and totally watch him all the time because I like him, because he's the one that commented on the lumber. Like if you didn't see their live stream from a couple of days ago, I can't remember. I think he's already got go to Legal Bites and look in their description box. And Rob, I don't know if you subscribe to Rob's channel. I'm not sure. But I want to see, he made that video and he made his determination about the lumber. Did you see that, about the wood, about the bed? So I need to watch his video. I'll probably watch it tonight. I really, really want to see it. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. Did you say, are you subscribed to Rob? If you know his channel, can you put it in the chat? I just haven't had a chance to visit to go subscribe. He's got like 6,000 followers already. Man, that's nice. I can't wait till I have like a few people. I tried to bring in my family, because I have Oh, you did? Oh, awesome. Yeah. Can you send me the link in the chat of his channel really fast so I can get up, so I can subscribe to his channel? I want to see that video. Did he break it down? He might have broke it down about the bed. I know he was talking about it in the live stream, but he said he made a video. So he said Johnny's boot couldn't have done that. So I'm really excited about seeing that. But don't forget to see the behavioral panels video tomorrow. Like I said, I'm curious. I think it might be a good segue for me to start tomorrow's stream and just watch it as a reaction. It might be long though, because they're going to do both days. I just can't remember how the length of their videos. I have to look at the last one. I think their last one was like 20 minutes or something. So, but I definitely want to take the tour of the penthouse, the actual virtual tour that takes us inside of there, so we can get like kind of a better feel when they start talking about it in court next week. And I don't know what else I want to talk about. I'm going to start wrapping it up pretty soon though, because it's already Thursday. And like I said, I have some people in my family and stuff that I've asked to come and guest host on here, but they really don't want to. They're keeping up with the trial, but they really don't want to come on and I'm so sorry. I should have put myself up there. I apologize. I forget. I'm trying to learn how to use StreamYard, because everybody's using StreamYard. That's why I subscribe to it. And I always forget when I have the screen capture, when I'm the screen up there, I forget to put myself back up there so you can see me. I don't mean to be rude, so I hope you don't think I'm rude. I'm just trying to understand how to do all the things. But yeah, I really love LawTube very much. We'll get along very well, trust me, because I watch their stuff all the time. I like the Umbrella Guy too. Do you watch that Umbrella Guy? I like him a lot also. And I like the fact that Laura B has been making appearances on channels also, because she was in the courtroom last week. So I'm curious to know how she felt, how she was reading the room when she was really emotional. So hopefully we'll hear from her. But you know who I want? Do you do super chats or anything on Legal Bites' live streams? You do? Okay, I haven't had a chance to do that yet, but there is some let's see. Let me tell you. There's a lady on and maybe you already follow her because she's appeared on Andy Sigmar's channel, but she's like an expert on abuse. Here's the thing. Did you watch the live stream from Legal Bites today? Or no? Her name is oh my goodness. Let me bring up my Twitter. I love her so much. She's like, her name is something Silva or Amy something. Did you watch the live stream today? Sorry, my camera's over here. Anyway, the psychologist that they had on today in their live stream, and that lady with the long brown hair, the one that they had, the two psychology people they had on today. I don't care for them at all. I feel like they do not know what they're talking about. But that's just me. That's just my own personal preference. I do not like that woman. I've never liked her. I don't feel like, I just don't like her. I don't care for her. I mean, I don't know her, so I'm not saying that I don't like her, but I don't care for her. I've tried to watch her videos before. I don't like her. I don't think she knows what she's talking about. That's just my own personal opinion. And I don't like the psychologist that constantly talks about the housewives. I can't take that seriously. Someone trying to break things down when they're talking about the housewife. I mean, maybe he specializes in pop culture, but I can't take someone serious like that. I just can't. I mean, I prefer to watch like the behavior, like the like you said, the seriousness of it. I can't take those two people seriously because they're in it for the fame. They're in it for the click. They're in it for the clout. And I don't care for people that are here for the clout. And so that's the only reason why I don't care for those two people they had on today as experts or whatever, But that's why I wrote her and told her I wish she would have Richard on there. I think they'd really like him. But I know he hasn't been making many videos. You know, he's on Instagram more than he's on YouTube. He has been making videos on YouTube, but he has been making more shorts, you know, on IG. So, and I know he's on Twitter, but I don't know how often he posts on Twitter. I know he's been traveling and stuff as well. But there's just certain people, you know, that I really have latched onto. Yeah, I don't like them. I don't like them. They're not, trust me, they're very superficial. They're out for I have to be very careful the way that I articulate myself here on the YouTubes, but I don't care for those two people. I don't feel like they're educational enough to take their evaluation seriously. I feel like they are all about the like I said, the clout for YouTube. They don't care about anything else. And that can get to people when they get to a certain level on YouTube, you know. And that's the thing I like about the people that I follow. You know, I mean, I like to watch Richard Grannon and Sam Vaknin, you know, people that actually specialize in narcissistic stuff, because it really kind of breaks down that kind of personality. And after this is over, I'm going to live stream an interview with Sam that I can't wait to share. I don't know how many people are going to even be interested in it or care about talking about it. But I've even been tempted to do it like on Saturday, because I feel like if someone catches that video, they may be able to read her better next week. So I may go ahead and do that interview from Sam and just kind of take a break from the court stuff, you know, just for a second, like do, you know, the court stuff tomorrow and wrap it up on Friday, and then leave Saturday open to do that interview with Sam Vaknin that I've been wanting to do online desperately. I really want to do that. And then talk about it and how I feel about it. So yeah, yeah, I don't, yeah, yeah. So anyway, but yeah, so that's my docket tomorrow. So we'll watch the virtual tour. I mean, if you come back, I'm going to watch the virtual tour. I'm going to play the second video, which will be nice. And then it depends on what happens on Twitter, what I can collect from Twitter tomorrow. And I try to stay away from showing the documents. I love looking at the documents, but I don't have the narrative the way that umbrella guy does, or Brian does, or, you know, like all these people that have been following this case like step by step. So I feel kind of like an idiot, you know what I mean? Because I feel like I don't know what I'm talking about, kind of, when it comes to the whole UK trial and everything. There's so many people that have been keeping up with this case for so long. It's crazy. But yeah, so that's what we're going to cover tomorrow. But thank you so much, so much for participating, for coming in and commenting. You don't know how much that means to me. I'm new at this, so it's nice when someone shows up. I just love that. Thank you so much. And yeah, so tomorrow I'm going to schedule the next live stream for, where are you located? Are you in Eastern time or Pacific time? I'm in California. So I'm thinking that it might be good to start the stream about 5:30, which would be 8:30 on the East Coast. So I feel like that's a fair time. You know, I'm trying not to go at a time where like people have just got, you know, home. Maybe they're working or even working at home and they want to eat dinner. You know, they get off at 4 or 5, you know what I mean? And they want to eat and kind of get relaxed a little bit and then sit down and watch something. Because I don't know about you, but I watch YouTube only on my TV. Like that's the only time I watch YouTube on my TV alone. So I know when I sit down, oh, Tennessee. Okay. So that's why I like to watch my everything. I only watch YouTube on my TV. So but yeah, so that's what we're going to do. So I will schedule the next live stream for tomorrow at 5:30 Pacific time, which will be 8:30 your time. And then, you know, I'll try to make it as long as I have, just because we're coming so close to wrapping up the week that, man, everybody's so excited for this cross. I hope I hope she does a good job. I hope she's so beautiful. She's such a passive personality, but she was on those objections. Camille, she was on those objections, like they were saying. That's why I like law too, because it's really kind of preparing us for what to see and the style of those lawyers, because you can really tell how the difference between the two teams. And you could so see the difference in Elaine, the way she does cross versus the way she does direct. It's so different. You know, she's like night and day. Another wacko. But anyway, yeah. So I thank you so much. I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you for coming. Thank you for chiming in and really just commenting. I so appreciate it. And I hope you come back tomorrow or share the link in your Facebook or on your IG. Let them know how you feel about the stream. I would love that. Please tap the like button. No one, it helps me just kind of get a little bit of a boost, and it helped me get a little bit of a traction you watching. So thank you so much, and I'll see you tomorrow if you can make it. If not, it'll be on the replay, so hopefully you'll be able to to see it tomorrow. So you take care, have a really great evening, and I will see you soon. Thank you so much, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.